Yeah, seasons freezing in the summer. I got that heat, it gon' keep me company. Believe me, gotta keep it from 'em. Can't give 'em nothing, I keep 100. Like seasons freezing in the summer. I got that heat, it gon' keep me company. Believe me, gotta keep it from 'em. Can't give 'em nothing, I keep 100. Like seasons, praying for my mother. I don't know God, but it made me wonder what's the problem. Who be watching over? Let me get a sign that they call shorter. And the pennies don't shine when there's no water. And the electrical bill pass through tomorrow. And you gotta stay strong for your son and daughter. I stay looking for a chance so it don't get harder. Ain't even gonna get into that other shit. Be getting depressed in the booth when I'm letting shit. I just bought a pistol cause outside I see the world going mad. And they doing all that extra shit. Gotta look alive, stay alive. Gotta look out for my brothers and my sisters if they let it fly. Boys in the blue, gotta pick a side. How could you got somebody your brother when they genocide? Seasons freezing in the summer. I got that heat, it gon' keep me company. Believe me, gotta keep it from 'em. Can't give 'em nothing, I keep 100. Like seasons freezing in the summer. I got that heat, it gon' keep me company. Believe me, gotta keep it from 'em. Can't give 'em nothing, I keep 100. Like seasons.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of Lien On Me. Lean, it's all the same. To Lien On Me, guys, we have such a fun and exciting show planned for you and a lot going on. So with that, we're going to start things off with some hype, with some music, because I love music, and there's going to be a lot of it on this show. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be bringing in my good friend, LYPH, for a live performance. Yeah, what's up, man?
What's going on?
What's up? You ready, my guy?
I am, yeah. So I just got to hit play here and get the music going.
Right. All righty. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that.
What's up, everybody? Coming live and direct from Lien On Me, episode 1. What's up? Let's get it. Yeah. And I was just thinking about some shit last night. And I was just thinking about some shit last night. Yeah. And I was just thinking the other day about the way that I rhyme and the things I say. And if I got enough talent to get it paid or I get curators gonna just swipe away. I just cannot delay, gotta just grind till it happen. I've done too much time, can't go back to the so I will just push through the negative yapping and keep doing me till they all love my rapping. And all of them clapping and screaming my name at the top of their lungs like they fucking insane. Cause they all feel my pain, all feel my shame and relate to the shit. And I like that's insane, integrate my name in the I and the L. Cause everyone's life can get ill and be held. And plenty of people are sat in a cell. Came from the poverty where we all sweat. I was just thinking about some shit last night. And I was just thinking about some shit last night. And I was just thinking about some shit last night. And I was just trying to get my head on right. And I was just thinking about this fucked up game called life. Yeah. And I was just thinking the other night of all the drugs that I've taken throughout this life. And how the hell am I still here? It don't seem right. I didn't value life. Felt like I took my friends out if I thought I might sit and vent. Cause life is like one per predicament. Cause I'm always chasing the bills and rent. And I just cannot look back and repent. I cannot regret. I cannot forget. I would rather go get it, get out instead. I cannot regret. I cannot forget. I would rather go get it before I'm dead. Get up out the red and just stack all these racks. But the ceiling just cracks and it pours at the back. Wanna swim in my cash and that's why I won't slack. To make sure my family's in luxury laugh. I was just thinking about some shit last night. Everybody been there. And I was just thinking about some shit last night. And I was just thinking about some shit last night. And I was just trying to get my head on right. And I was just thinking about this fucked up game called life. Yeah. And I was just sitting here lost in thought about the way that my family's been torn apart. And I just look at my little girl's broken heart and the drawing on the wall of our family and kitty art. Wish I could hit restart, wish I could fix the tracks, but now shit's happening that just can't be taken back. Every night I crack watching us fade the black, picturing you with him. Party monster is back. Now it's the weekend, I'm mixing a drink, knocking them back just to make me not think, pretending it's fun, but I really just thinking. I really just wish you would stop to think. But still every moment's surreal. Like this isn't me. Like this isn't what we could be. But now she pushed me to the brink, making me think. Guess I'll just push through, get lost in a kink. Thinking about some shit last night. And I was just thinking about some shit last night. Thank you. And I was just thinking about some shit last night. And I was just trying to get my head on right. And I was just thinking about this fucked up game called life. Thinking about this fucked up game called life. I was just thinking about some shit last night. And I was just thinking about some shit last night. And I was just trying not to kill myself. And I was just trying to get my head on right. Yeah. Thinking about some shit last night. Woo! Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the show. We'll be back at the end.
What is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? And welcome to episode 1 of Lien On Me. Thank you guys so much for being here, for being in the chat. You guys are the absolute best. We got a couple things to go through before we get the show started here. I do know, yes, Paul from Into the West Comics will be my featured co-host of the show officially. But it is his mother's birthday, so shout out to his mom for her birthday. Happy birthday. And he will be joining us in a little bit as he finishes up having dinner with her and of course celebrating her. But before that, obviously, welcome, guys. I'm super excited. I can't thank you enough. A lot of things to go through, a couple shout outs. Obviously, before we get things started and kicked off and all the fun stuff going, we definitely want to, or I want to definitely say big thank you to Ty. Of course, Ty, who runs the channel, created the channel, puts a lot of work, a lot of time, so much effort, and literally everything that he has into this channel. He's the one that, of course, helped me put everything together, has been incredibly supportive of the show and everything that I do on the channel or outside of the channel. So without his support, without him, of course, bringing me on a couple months ago, I wouldn't be here. So shout out to Ty. Much love to Ty. Thank you for everything. And hopefully you'll be able to make it on here soon because, guys, he is not feeling too well. So send Ty some love. He is the GOAT. We love him. And also, of course, I want to shout out all the people that are here because you guys are here. I couldn't thank you enough. Some of you have been in the chat for a long time. I know. Shout out to William, who sent a super chat yesterday, and he was he'll be the first official super chat of the show. So yes, William, you do have that honor of the first official super chat of Lien On Me. So thank you, my friend. That is much appreciated. And I will not stand you up for doom like I did with Candyman. My bad. But with that, definitely want to send some shout outs to all the people in the chat. Billy Roberts and Adam Silvestri are here. The guys, they are so supportive. They've been here from the beginning. I can't thank them enough. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Roblox is here. Thank you so much. Oh, he sent a $10 super chat. So yeah, guys, if you send a super chat like a day before, apparently we can't see it. So that's nice. But thank you, Roblox. Appreciate that, man. So kind and much appreciated. Gabe the Bombbird is here. Thank you, Gabe. Yes, we're going to be definitely talking about that and a lot more news tonight as well. So definitely stick around. I think, yeah, we went through Adam. Pop Culture Corner is here. That's nice. I'm glad they're here. I would hope they are here. Nick Carr is here. What's up, Nick? The Drifter is here. Also, quick shout out to the Drifter, who today, in a very, very short amount of time that I requested, he was able to put together this cool little poster that we put out on Twitter today, and we'll probably use that style and that background and ask him to do a couple more. So shout out to the Drifter. Thank you so much, man, for being on top of it and just like literally, guys, I'm not even kidding you. Within like a couple hours, this guy was like, yeah, I'm on it. So shout out the Drifter. You're amazing, man. Thank you so much for your help today and all that. Hey, Phil Barker. Yes, Phil will be here. He's one of the guests. So definitely thank you. Shout out, Phil. Thank you for being here. Lots of love to you, man. TW, shout out to TW, of course, because TW, he basically named the show. So I don't know if I'm technically like stealing or like copyright. I don't know if I'm just taking it from him, but shout out TW. I'm giving you credit. So he did name the show. Can't thank you enough. I love that name and I ran with it. So Lien On Me is now an official thing thanks to TW. Ryan, my guy Ryan, who's got one of the most fire channels on YouTube. Definitely check it out. Love seeing you in the chat, man. Thank you so much. I love this kid's commentary and what he does and just what he talks about. He's so knowledgeable. It's incredible. So thank you, man, so much for being here. Gavin, my boy Gavin, who, again, is having a identity crisis on the night of my show, man. You're really gonna do that to me the night of my show. Not be Master Chief. You're going to be some Star Wars. I mean, I like Star Wars too, so I guess I can excuse it. But let's see. I'm trying to catch up. There's a lot of people in the chat here. Ill Life, of course. Shout out to Ill Life with that amazing first performance. He'll be back too to talk a little later and perform a couple more songs a little later because I know he's got some songs a part of the Snyderverse community that I'm sure some people might want to hear. But so shout out to Ill Life. Thank you so much, man, for opening the show. That was awesome. Katsuka, thank you so much. Guys, I love interacting with the chat. I love, honestly, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. Ty talks about this a lot, and I completely agree. You guys are the other member of the show. I definitely love to engage and talk with you guys. So definitely any questions, anything you guys want to talk about, put it in the chat. I love acknowledging the chat and like I said, conversating and talking to you guys. Let's see. Rushnon, what's Lien On Me? Lien On Me, which is a new show Monday nights here on the Pop Culture Corner, is a show hosted by myself and Paul from Into the West Comics, one of our friends from another channel. They're great as well. But it's gonna be a new show. That's right now. It's gonna be a lot different than some of the other shows here. It's going to be very late night talk show with a lot of different guests and segments, skits, and, different fun things like that. We really want to try to do things different and make this like a really unique show on the channel and on YouTube in general. So things like Ill Life's live performances, we will of course be talking about and dealing with pop culture, but in other ways, like bringing in like psychiatrists and talking about how mental health and culture and today's societies and how that can mesh and things like that. I'm very interested in kind of branching out and doing different things. So that's a quick little explanation, Rushnon, of what Lien On Me is. Let's see, who else do we got here? Chat is lit. But yeah, with that, I do have a couple more thank yous to go through. I know, guys, a lot of housekeeping stuff, but I got to do it because, look, I'm so incredibly grateful to not only all the people in the chat, but all the people that I've come across like in the YouTube community over the last couple months and getting started in doing this. And I just feel like I want to shout them out, show them some love because they've been incredibly gracious to me and incredibly kind. Nick Carr says, "Let's go." Thank you, Nick. Incredibly gracious to me and kind. So with that little logo that you see there in the corner, and that I thought I uploaded, but I didn't. So I'll do that real quick because I messed up. But that logo in the corner. Quick shout out to Nerdy in Many Ways. Dawson did that logo for me. There we go. Yeah, I'll just let it be my head. But that shout out Dawson. He's been so nice, so kind. He's an incredible artist, and he does some really awesome stuff on his channel, his nerdy talks and all of that. I love being on his show. And shout out to Dawson for just being an amazing person, doing that logo for me on a pretty quick time frame as well. And yeah, also if you have not checked out Dawson's channel, check it out. Nerdy in Many Ways. He does some really great comics as well that you should check out. Savage is, I believe, the one that he's doing right now. And he's got another one coming up. So definitely, guys, check out Dawson's channel because he's awesome. Also, want to shout out a couple other people. Let's see, like one of the first people I met. I know I don't have any pictures of him, but I want to shout about in case he watches or anything later. One of the first people I met actually when joining was Matt Jarbo. Matt Jarbo. I know a lot of people have heard of him, but I want to shout him out because of all the people that I've come to know on YouTube, he's been one of the most kindest, gracious, and just honest people in the world. And he's really been someone that I take a lot of inspiration from. I love the way that he runs his show, Hollywood After Dark. And just like I said, he's been incredibly kind and nice to me. And to talk with him one of the first times that I joined the channel, I just immediately learned that he's an honest dude and that he means well, and he's just all around cool. So make sure and check out his channel. Hollywood After Dark is his show. $3 Theater is his channel. Shout out Matt Jarbo. Also, let's see here. I know, guys. I know all the fun stuff. We will be joined by a couple guests pretty soon here. I did want to bring in our producer who's only been around a couple weeks, but this was kind of a surprise. I'll let him. There we go. We'll just pull him. Hey, Caiden. Hey, buddy.
Hello.
How you doing, dude?
I'm good.
Good. Yeah. Look, I wanted to bring you in real quick to give you a shout out as well, man, because over the last couple weeks you have joined the corner as the producer, and
Right.
and you've been absolutely killing it, man. You've been on top of everything. We basically don't even have to ask you anything. You're on top of the pictures. You're on top of correcting us when we're wrong, especially me. But look, I just want to say, man, you've done such a great job. You brought on some guests even, and look, the chat says, all right, Caiden's a savage. Caiden is OG. That's right.
I thank you. I thank everyone that has been watching and has been supportive of this podcast. It's me and Ty have been talking about me joining as producer for a long time. So
yeah,
it's great to be part of this. It's been almost a month now. So almost a month.
I think it's been like a month or a little over.
A little over a month. Yeah.
If I'm not.
So it's been a fun time, definitely some fun times. Definitely.
Yeah, man. And you've been doing a great job. Like I said, you've been killing it. And shout out to you, man. You've been killing it.
Yeah,
and we only hope to see you do more and coming more as well. And as always, you're welcome on this show. I got a shout out to Obs. Obs in the chat. Love you, Obs. Check her out. She's on Spotify. She's amazing. As well, guys, if you liked the music that you heard at the beginning of the live stream, that was by WILLAY. That music is also on Spotify. And everybody that's going to be on the show tonight, their links are in the description as well. Their YouTubes and Twitters and Spotifys and Apples of musics and all that fun stuff. It's all there. So check that out, of course. Adam, when we all getting naked, it's a late night party, right? Well, Adam, I'm glad you asked, because right now, no, I'm kidding. Surprise! No,
surprise.
it's definitely going to have some edgy moments as any late night show. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe if somebody super chats enough, I might just I don't know. We'll see.
The last stream that Austin ever does, that's
yeah, exactly. My outro stream will be
outro stream.
will be that one. But
the outro stream, everything goes loose. Everything.
Yes.
It's it's all hell breaks loose on the outro stream.
Exactly. But with that, we're gonna move on to a quick advertisement as well. We talk a lot about this advertisement on the show. We play it a lot. We're gonna play it again, but in a couple weeks, she'll be on the show to actually talk about her products, to talk about why she does it. She's an amazing, passionate person. Her name is Susie. She runs the CBD company that we run the ad for, and what she does is just absolutely incredible. So we're going to play that ad really quickly, and then we're going to get the show started. So I hope that was enough time for Caiden to get the ad ready.
Yeah. I have
okay, cool.
Trigger finger over it.
There we go.
We are brought to you today by Kai CBD, a Las Vegas-based health and wellness brand that crafts a full-spectrum CBD hemp-derived product line. Made with 100% love, the brand was created by a 20-year licensed massage therapist for her husband who suffers from chronic pain. Healing is what Kai lives for. Head over to their Facebook or Instagram and mention Pop Culture Corner to receive 10% off your order of all or any of their CBD-derived product line. Guys, their website is in the works. Head over to their Facebook or Instagram. The links are in the description below. Mention Pop Culture Corner and get 10% off. This ad is an easy one for me. Easy, as I use the products myself. They are wonderful. So head over, mention Pop Culture Corner, and get 10% off your order of all orders forever.
Yeah, CBD. So like I said, she's going to be on in a couple of weeks. Susie, the lady who runs Kai CBD products, they're absolutely amazing. I couldn't recommend them highly enough. And then also, I just had to bring this up because Adam, smooth as a neck. Yes, quick cameo from Ty there. Guys, if you didn't hear earlier, Ty hasn't been feeling well the last couple of days, so send him some love. Definitely let him know that you're there for him, that you love him, that you hope he feels better, because we sure do. This channel wouldn't be where it is without him. And also, of course, the last housekeeping thing that I want to do before we get everything started, and Caiden, this may require you to actually change over to something else, but it's worth it because I want to bring up our members. But I do want to, of course, shout out the members, the lifeblood of the channel. These guys are the absolute best, and we couldn't do it without them. So let me see. Oh, there we go. All right, yeah. All right, so here we go. Yes, shout out to the members, guys. Thank you so much. Again, we do all this stuff, and we hope to do bigger and better, and that's all because of people like you. So Saggy Melons, Benson's, Wayne, DC Extend, Adam Silvestri, that one Carlos, Resident Justice, Billy Robert, Nick Carr, John Rodell, Justin Hines, Kinky Sphincter, my favorite name, Caiden Reed, Sean Adame, Nick DePalma, Jack S, T Rob, and Alien LV 1023. And let's see, I already know, but I can tell. Roblox should be on there. So shout out Roblox. I know. I already know. I didn't even have to look at the chat, and I already knew. But shout out Roblox. You guys are the absolute best. Seriously, we can't thank you enough. And we all do it for you. With that, we're going to get the show started. We're going to talk a little bit with a very, very, very good friend of mine. This guy, actually, look, I've known him for a long time, probably since I was like 6 or 7 years old, but he's been an incredible mentor and friend in my life. I take a lot of inspiration from him, especially comedy-wise. With that, I want to bring in a good friend of mine. He's a host on Into the West Comics. My good friend, Donovan Fulmer. What is up, man? Oh, man, look at you. Oh, yeah.
Austin, hell of an intro. Hell of an intro. I tell you. Good to be on, man. Glad to be here. As you can see, I've made sure that I've geeked out my background. There's a fridge right here.
Love it, man.
And
love it. I've seen that.
Some cabinets.
Yes.
Some cabinets right here.
Yes, I think those have been in the Marvel movies, I think.
Yeah, fridges and cabinets have definitely been in the Marvel movies. So
love it.
Either way, I'm here.
I love
Let's
it, man.
do this.
I love it. Dude, thank you so much for being here. You were when I was hosting my little podcast before I got famously big as I am and couldn't control the fame. But yeah, exactly. I asked you to come on and we got to talk to Sean O'Connell and you were the first person I thought of growing up. You were the only person that was as geeky and nerdy and talked about comics and loved it. And like I said, I took a lot of inspiration from you and I'm
thanks, bud.
You are here, my friend. So with that, I know. Have you had the chance to see Shang-Chi?
I've seen it twice. I've seen it twice so far.
Twice. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So I would assume that you liked it. I would hope that you liked it. Okay. Right.
No, I actually thought it was okay. I thought that the movie was a very Americanized kung fu movie. The style, the fighting, the imagery was a ton of fun. The humor was very, it was okay. It was very Marvel-esque. There were some really funny moments that happened, but not too many to, run home about. I mean, Taika Waititi wasn't writing this thing, so it wasn't that funny. But the story was just real predictable. I mean, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. I'll try to keep as many spoilers as not, but if I do, spoiler alert. It's the same trope. Your mother was light, your father was dark. They gave up everything so that they could raise you until your mother died and your father had vengeance for her at any cost, even if it meant going through you guys to get to her, he would do it. I knew your mother. She was my sister. You have to learn to embrace the light and the dark and how they work in perfect harmony. And then you have the dragon doing the yin-yang inside the water after they put the lanterns on the lake. You just kind of go, okay. I mean, listen, I always mispronounce his name. It's Simu Liu. Is that his name? Who played Shang-Chi?
Simu Liu.
He was great. He did a great job. Kevin Feige gave him a job to do, and he did his job. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. But this movie was just, what up, Gabe, the bomb bird? I don't know. I wanted more from it. I thought the post-credit scene did a good job as far as showing us what's to come, what's going there, and I'll get into that in a little bit of what I think. But it was okay. It just wasn't anything to run home about. I saw it twice. I saw it once with some really good friends. They got me tickets, and then I also saw it with the boys from Into the West. So, part of it's my job as a podcaster, as a show host on YouTube. I got to watch these things, but other than that, it just was okay. It wasn't. I mean, it's going to be really hard to match Endgame and even like Far From Home. Like my brother had just saw Far From Home for the first time and he was like, dude, that was so good. I don't know why I slept on it. I was like, dude, it's one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made.
I agree.
So it was okay. It's just nothing to run when someone's like, should I go to the theater or wait for Disney Plus? I went, wait for Disney Plus. There's really nothing in there. I mean, that's going to make you go now. Eternals, I will say, go see Eternals because that's going to have some crazy stuff in it. No. This movie didn't really provide that for us. It gave us it was a good origin. It was a good origin. Yeah. That was it.
Yeah. Do you think now? Because I talked a lot about this before the movie came out. I actually thought it was really good. I actually really, really liked it, and I thought it surprised me as an origin movie in Phase 4. But I still went in with caution, thinking like, look, we're in phase 4. Like you said, Endgame was such a big thing that nothing really is going to be as big as Endgame till No Way Home and Doctor Strange 2. It feels like, so do you think Marvel should approach these origins more like as the Disney Plus shows, like what they're doing with Miss Marvel and like She-Hulk and some of these other things, instead of going back to the theatrical for it?
Yeah, I think it depends on the character. I know that Moon Knight's getting his own show on
Right.
Disney Plus, and Oscar Isaac is playing Moon Knight. So I think that's cool. I think if we can get good origins, but there's just some stories. Shang-Chi, yes, or Shang-Chi rather. It needed an origin because not a lot of people knew who Shang-Chi was. The Eternals is gonna need an origin because not a lot of people will say I've read all the Eternals. No, you haven't. You just haven't.
Right.
You haven't. It wasn't a popular
I've read none
title.
of them.
It wasn't.
I'll tell you that right now.
There you go. But there's some really dense stuff in there. If you do decide to read it, it's very, very good. So yeah, those types of shows. But there's some movies. Spider-Man, we don't need an origin. Batman, don't need an origin. Superman, we don't need an origin. Thor, don't need an origin. Hulk, don't need an origin. We just don't need them. We understand what happens. They've been a part of our culture for a really long time, and we know what's going to happen. We know that a radioactive spider bites Peter Parker. We know that Bruce Wayne loses his parents on a cold, dark night in a Gotham alley. We know that Clark Kent is Kal-El from Krypton. We know it. We know it. There's no need to hash and keep going forward with all these things. So for me, I'm like, it's okay. But to answer your question, I do think, I think it's a smart idea if you're going to introduce new characters like Shang-Chi, like Miss Marvel, some of the other She-Hulk. I think that's great to put it on Disney Plus. And Loki was better than Shang-Chi. The whole series is better than Shang-Chi. So, and I can't, and if anyone wants to argue with me on that point, please, I'd love to know why you think Shang-Chi is better than Loki.
You're right. I mean, I do think Shang-Chi breaks some Marvel mold in formulaic ways. Like the third act, it went dark in some places I didn't expect it to. Even with, and spoiler warning, like, big demons and soul suckers showing up at the end and all that. I was kind of like, oh wow, okay, they're kind of definitely getting rid of the kid audience there, or the little kid audience. So I think that appealed to me. But I mean, I don't know. I think when it compares to Loki, Loki is such, it just expands the world in so many different ways and breaks the formula in so many different ways. And speaking of formula, is that something that you think is a problem so far for the Marvel Phase 4 movies, Black Widow and Shang-Chi's formula?
No, the Black Widow thing is been a mess from day one. It sounds like, with Scarlett trying to get theater rights and then like going, hey, like we didn't sign to this, and she's like, no, you did, and then like giving Black Widow a story after Endgame that happens before Infinity War and between. So I don't understand it. I don't get why. Like, imagine if we saw the relationship she had with her sister and all the things that she did with that family before Infinity War. Her death in Endgame would have meant so much more to all of us. It did to begin with, but it would have just been the icing on the cake for us. As far as Shang-Chi, again, it's a new movie. No one is really familiar with these stories or any of them. So yes, it's necessary. I think what they were trying to do was they were trying to really tap into the Asian market, domestically and globally, to get there. I think, I could be putting words in their mouth, and I'm going to try not to say something that'll get me in trouble. But I think they tried to do with what they did with Black Panther, it being such a cultural phenomenon. I think they tried to really do it with Shang-Chi. And I don't want to take that away from Asian Americans or Asians around the world, because it does mean a lot to them. And I hope every person, I mean, Austin, you're Asian. You went and saw it. I'm sure it meant something to you as well. So, you see that, and I just kind of go like, man, I want them. I want that for them because as a white guy, we get all these superheroes. It's time to bring in other people. It's time to bring in other cultures. It's time to bring in great new things that people enjoy to see that represents their culture well. And I think they did a great job, especially where there was where they went to the other universe and you see all this ancient Chinese culture that's there that a lot of them have practiced. I thought that was a really well done touch. However, I just think that. Yeah, I just don't think that. I think what they were trying to do with Black Panther, they tried to do with this movie. And hey, if that's how they want to do it, then go for it. But I just don't know that it will have the significant impact that it did with Black Panther. I mean, that was a cultural phenomenon. So it was amazing to see.
I agree. I do think Marvel is headed that way. Obviously, with this, with Miss Marvel, I think they're going to definitely try and make that a big thing for that culture as well. So I think that is definitely that they're going to try to repeat that success and that what.
Yeah, listen,
exactly what you did.
Representation matters. 100%.
Absolutely. And too, I think I got to ask you, what did you think of the return of Sir Ben Kingsley and how they worked that into the story?
I thought it played for a really good laugh. I enjoyed that. I think it did its job well as far as retconning what happened in Iron Man 3 and then him explaining at the dinner table like there was an American businessman who wanted to do this. I was like, oh, see, that's really cool. And then they show him like his ego, the Mandarin's ego, make sure that guy never got out again to ruin his name or the name of 10 Rings, which I thought was good. However, they played that card a little much with him front lines at the battle, and then like totally negating his like, I'm gonna stand here with these people and fight with them, but him like acting like it just like the third act was just wonky, man, in some of those areas. And I was like, like having Aquafina be the one that
defeats him. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about that, but I had issue with that. That's the one thing that I was like, really?
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. She's a character that is trying to prove her worth and prove she's worth something other than just being a valet driver. I totally get that. But this guy's got 10 rings on, like, I don't know. It just was a little wonky for me. I was just kind of like, okay. So it's like, I saw in the theater. I called her Aquafina.
I did say, in the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes, she's a little overbearing for me. And then she gets knocked in the bus, and then she calms down a bit, actually. So I was like, okay, But
yeah, she did everything she was supposed to do.
Yes.
She did everything she was supposed to do.
I did think it was funny, right, that you had Trevor, sticks with them, I guess, for the rest of the film once he's back in there.
It was weird.
And then I like of course in Morris his little no face furball thing. But there was a lot of talk before the movie came out about the box office, and obviously with the pandemic, things like that, if it was gonna flop or not. It did 71 million or over $70 million at the box office. Do you think this is like just becoming a Marvel, like going to be a Marvel thing? Because even Suicide Squad a couple weeks ago, didn't make not even close. A lot of movies that have come out these past couple months haven't made even close to as much as that. I think the only one was Black Widow that was first. So do you think this is only going to be a Marvel thing for the next little bit?
No, I think a lot of studios are trying to play it safe with COVID going on right now. They've been, moving things back and pushing things back. It's because we just don't know what's going to happen with lockdown protocols. Can we do this? Can we do that? Or do you have to have a vaccine in order to get into a theater? Like all this stuff, we just don't know what the happening is. What the happening is, kids? We just don't know what's going to. We just don't know what is going to happen. So studios are trying to play it safe where they're saying we want as many people possible in our movie without having to worry about this stuff. So it's push it back, push it back, push it back, push it back. So, and Disney is the mark of the beast, as we all know. It is the standard for for Hollywood. They're the mark of the beast. They're the mark of the beast, people. Tyler, this is just for you, my friend. I saw your comment. I wanted to make sure, Tyler, you're a fantastic young man. You're a great young man. Some say the greatest young man of all time, but you're not, because I'm the youngest man on Earth and Venus and the whole galaxy solar system. Anyway, so yeah, they're just trying to push everything back. They'll continue to push things back for a really long time until Fauci comes out there and says, well, you can wear whatever you want into a theater now. So that'll be that. So Disney is going to try and do, I mean, Disney might push back. Who knows? Eternals might get pushed back.
Yeah, right. But I mean, at the same time,
Spider-Man might get pushed back.
Venom took a big leap. Not even, I think, 24 hours after Shang-Chi opened. They were like, we're pushing it up.
I have a theory as to why. Sony, that is a sole Sony property, right?
Mm-hmm.
No Way Home is Sony and Marvel / Disney together. They're not getting the whole chunk of that pie.
Right.
They want to have as much of their own money as possible when they go and theaters start to open up. They probably don't believe that the numbers in October are going to be better than the numbers October of March, or not October, but in the month of March. They're trying to get as much money as possible. And I don't think that they think that October is the month to do it, which sucks.
Yeah, I agree. And Philip Barker says he'll be joining the show in a minute. Shang-Chi has a budget of $150 million. Black Widow and the Suicide Squad had higher budgets. It's a less risky investment. Okay, yeah, I can see. Yeah, with the budgets being higher, I guess the main risky thing with Marvel and then this being is that it's an unknown character. But even that,
correct, and that's what they're banking on. They're banking on that it's an unknown character. It's someone we've never seen before. Again, they're hitting the Asian markets. People, China's marketing for Marvel is huge down there. Right. Huge. It to me, it's a big reason of why we probably don't see Mephisto in these series, because they don't like the satanic stuff, even though it's happening in WandaVision and whatever. That's neither here nor there. But they know what they're doing. They get the formula. They get what's happening. And Sony knows that they're not going to get those same audiences for specific titles as they want with Let There Be Carnage, unless there's a big serial killer demographic they're not going after, in which they could love Carnage. I don't know. I don't know.
I am starting to think that with the combination of it, because look, I always call this, I think the first Venom was an anomaly. I don't know how it did so well. I didn't think it was that great of a movie, just in general, like outside of comic books. It's that the script was kind of weird and third act was messy. The only thing I really liked about it was the action, but I can't deny people liked it, and it made $800 million. It's got like an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I think with Venom and the combination of Carnage, I think being a wanted character that people have been wanting to see for a while now in the Spider-Man universe, that really might be what pulls it, what does it.
Yeah, Philip had a great comment here. He said Venom had a larger draw overseas than it did domestically. I wonder if the sequel will reflect that too. Again, this could be a thing. Overseas Venom did very good by itself. There's probably no other character in the Marvel universe that would have people running domestically to go see that movie. But the Asian market, you're not just talking China. Yes, China, but you have parts of, all over the islands. You have Japan, the Koreas, Taiwan, Vietnam. So all these places, they're like, yes, someone who like represents our culture in any way, shape, or form. whatever. And I'm probably insulting millions of people right now, and I so apologize for this. But so people, see, even Gavin Cooley said people in China love Venom, love Venom. Yes. They don't want to compete with Disney about a guy named Shang-Chi as their main character. They don't want to compete with that. They know that they're not going to win that market. So let's push it back, because we've pushed it back 900 times before, and we'll make it for March.
Yep.
I'm fired up now.
Right.
I love this stuff.
I know, and I think too, and I wanted to comment because you mentioned obviously the satanic stuff with China and Mephisto, and yeah, I agree. And I think that's partly that was a theory that I had after seeing Shang-Chi, is that may be why the movie hasn't opened yet over there, is you have those soul suckers. That dragon thing looked like half dragon, half demon at the end. So
the Asian markets will definitely love that, because it looks a lot like their some of the things you've seen in their paintings, their artwork,
not the one that came out of the water, but the one from the Soul Suckers. I actually thought it looked
okay, gotcha.
A little bit, and I thought maybe there's a connection to Eternals there. I don't know.
Yes,
but I don't know. I think that's and I don't know. Do you think that? Why do you think it hasn't opened in China yet? I know also there hasn't been great reception for.
Well, they do this first. The distributing rights do this first. They never make an American movie, then go release it in China first. It would just be no. It's still an American movie. They'll release it here, and then once they can, they'll go distribute it to China, and it will tear the roof off. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be really, really big. Of course, I don't know the Chinese protocol right now as far as going into theaters and social distancing. I don't know their policies or the procedures right now, so it could be much different. That could be another reason why they're holding off to put things there. Yeah,
I agree. And then with that, to keep in the Marvel stuff, do you think they'll end up pushing No Way Home? And if they do you think that could suffer from pushbacks as well? And I know that's kind of like, that movie has so much going for it that.
I love this question too that Tyler asked. What do you guys think of Shang-Chi not being played in certain countries? I think it's a travesty. I think everybody should see this movie. Again, there are some that are totally controlled by, dictatorships and all that stuff. So we don't know. We don't know what the deal is and why they won't release it there. But yeah, man, come on. Everyone should see this movie. Peace and love, man. Anyway, to answer your question, but what was your first question before? Sorry.
What do you think on if there's going to be? Do you think it's a good thing if they were to delay No Way Home? Because that movie.
That's man. Again,
that movie feels like should be $1 billion movie. But
again, you're dealing with two studios here. You're dealing with Sony and you're dealing with Marvel. They would have to come to a mutual agreement saying, yeah, we got to push this back. Sony might, and Disney's going to go, no. Our teaser trailer got 335 million views overnight. There's no way we're going to be not putting this movie out in December. Yeah, I really don't want it to. Which is all the more reason that everyone should stay safe and do their part, so that this movie doesn't get pushed back, please, for the love of God. I've waited my entire life for this. Just my whole life.
That's it.
To see every Spider-Man I've ever seen on the silver screen be in one movie. Anyway, I think that I think it's gonna beat the Endgame record for a lot of things. Who knows? But I just don't know, because then they would have to push back everything. You'd have to push back Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness to be probably your May or April slot, spring, early summer slot, and then you move your Spider-Man at the end of winter. It's just weird. Right. This feels like a Christmas blockbuster movie that we're supposed to see. So yes. I don't know. I'd be very surprised if they canceled Eternals and and Spider-Man, because those are holiday movies. Thanksgiving weekend, Christmas weekend. I mean, yikes. They could be really screwing themselves if they do that, because then what else do you know that's coming out in November and in December? Like, actually think about that. And if anyone knows like a legit thing, please leave it in the comments so we can see, because I would love to know what titles are coming out other than the Eternals and No Way Home that I'm excited for. I'm sure there's King Richard. I'm looking forward to that movie with Will Smith.
Yes.
That looks pretty incredible.
I'm sure you just made Ty very happy by mentioning Will Smith. He's a massive Will Smith fan. I agree. And I'm trying to think, the other one is no, Dune's in October. It's the only one that
Yeah, and even that, dude, Warner Brothers they threw the kitchen sink at this thing, and they've given Ghostbusters. Oh, Phil,
Ghostbusters.
You're so wonderful, Phil. Oh, No Time to Die. Yeah, that'll get that. Yeah, that movie has no time to live. It's going to be pushed back again. I can guarantee you that.
I'm so worried about No Time. Well, I'm not. I think it's going to be a good movie. It's not going to make any money, and it's not going to make back its budget. Let's see. There are a few that are coming out, but nothing on the Calvin King Richard, baby, right? Exactly. And obviously Marvel is taking very much advantage, as you just said, and I agree. I've been waiting my whole life, right, to see Spider-Man on screen, all the Spider-Men together. So Marvel's very much taking advantage of the multiverse. You got Loki. We're hearing things about Doctor Strange too, with Fox versus X-Men, things like that. Do you think how do you think the audience response is going to be? Because obviously people are going crazy about the multiverse and Marvel. They're loving it. How do you think the response is going to be on the opposite end with the Flash and the DC universe coming next year?
DC has a lot of work to do to retcon the Justice League, as we have come to love to call it. Yeah, man, they got a lot of work to do. And Andy Muschietti, I think that's his name.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry,
you did it.
Yeah, cool. I did it. He's got a lot of work to do. He's teased all their major superheroes in his Instagram. So is Henry Cavill coming back as Superman? Are we seeing Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in this? We know that Flash is going to be in it, but so how long is our Michael Keaton Batman and our Ben Affleck Batman? What's going to happen?
Flash is in the Flash movie.
Yeah, no, right, exactly.
But it does seem like you said, they're bringing back all these other characters. It seems like it's becoming less and less of a Flash movie.
Tyler Roberts just said DC will be the future. If you would have told me that 8 years ago, I'd have been like, yeah, bro, they are the future. But since those 8 years, they haven't proven it. I wish that weren't the case. And he also says, #bring back Cavill. I don't think Cavill's coming back to DC, my friend. I think this Flash movie might be his last, and I think he's going over to Marvel. And you can quote me on this today at 8:27 p.m. on Monday, September 6th. This was the day that I said it, and I'll say it again, people. I'll say it again. Henry Cavill will be the next Wolverine.
I would love that.
He will be the next Wolverine.
He would kill that role.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Anyway, that's a whole nother deal. As far as what we were actually talking about, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think he's got a lot of work to do. He's just got so much work to do, and it's going to be retconning a lot. And then how the heck are you going to bring Michael Keaton into all of this as Batman? And then you're giving us another Batman movie. It's making my head explode. I don't know what to do anymore with what DC is going for. And then are they going to do this crash where it's like Crisis on Infinite Earths? Now we're just going to bring it back to one new 52 streamlined thing. Is that what they're doing?
This movie feels more like Crisis than it does Flashpoint. I think at this point, because you got, and I don't know. Look, I think obviously the Snyderverse community is very concerned, right, that Ben Affleck is in it to basically be written out. Same with Henry Cavill. These people will show up to basically just move the story along. So do you think that that will damage the brand even more? And because we know that the takeover won't happen till next year, but it could very well be that these guys, Hamada and Emmerich, are trying to set that universe in stone before they head out,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I hope so. I don't know what Warner Brothers' plan is for the DC going forward. I don't know what Kevin Hamada has got up his sleeve. I hear it. Thank you, Gavin. That was awesome. Man, I just don't know. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know what they're trying to do. And then, like, you got stuff with, oh gosh, what's his name? The guy who played Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg.
Right. Yep.
He's like, I'm not coming back until I get an apology from them about all the things that they did to me. You see that sort of toxic behavior. Ezra Miller at one point was going to leave and not be Flash, and now he's back. They flipped directors on this Flash movie, I think, 3 or 4 times before they finally landed on Andy. So far, the only DC titles that have been worth anything watching are the one-shots that they happen to do, like Marvel does with their comic books. They have The Joker, which was a cinematic masterpiece. It's something that will live on in the test of time. And I know the people out there who don't like it like to say, he just took Scorsese's work and made it a Joker movie. You know what I say to you? You can go to hell. I mean it with all my heart. That was awesome. It was awesome. So, okay. The other thing is, there was another movie that, what was the Suicide Squad? That didn't feel like a sequel, yet it was somewhat of a sequel, but it felt more like a one-shot. They didn't really mention anything from the previous movie too much. They made it their own, and it was just brilliant. It was really, really good. So then you have this Batman movie that's not in Robert Pattinson Robert Pattinson that is coming into the fray of this stuff. So now we're like, oh, we get another Batman. Cool. Is he a part of anything? No. Okay.
Right. It's Earth 2, exactly.
Yeah, it's Earth. Like, oh man, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? So I don't know what their plan is. I think Marvel has got a beat for a really, really long time. I think the King the Conqueror stuff that we're going to see in Ant-Man and Quantumania is going to be off the chain. I don't know, man. It's a tough watch, real tough watch. So
I know because DC is your first love as well, and that's so it's heartbreaking to see all that, But look, man,
I should come on one time and share with you and pitch to you guys what I wanted to see in my perfect DC universe leading to a Justice League movie. I have it all written down in my head how I would have loved to have seen it. And if you have me on again, I will share it with everyone, and you can either shit on it or love it. I don't care.
Yes, and yes. And with that, man, I want to thank you so much for coming on and for doing this. Like I said, known you for years. I was big into acting and all that. I thought you were, I still think you could go on SNL and be incredibly successful anywhere like that.
That's very sweet of you.
And again, man, thank you so much for being here. You have any final thoughts? Anything else?
My final thoughts. I'll leave everyone with a Trump since everyone seems to love it so much. And
I did want to ask.
And I'll do it. And I'll do it.
That this show's the greatest.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely get there. But I will do Trump one more time, and I will read the Gavin Cooley message that says this, like Trump, and then I'll end the show. Because I have a dream, and in the dream, Warner Brothers gets their shit together, and I mean real together. But at the end of the day, we all get up, we smell the bacon, we drink the coffee. It was just a dream. Ha ha emoji. The end. Okay. Let me tell you something about this show right here on Pop Culture Corner, episode 1, Lien On Me, the greatest show of all time. Just because I'm on the show, Okay? It's going to get the greatest ratings you've ever seen, people. The greatest ratings, okay? So please make sure, don't get those lights off. Make sure you watch the show forever, okay? Every day. Even you, Alan Silvestri. I love you. Love me like I love you, okay? Because tremendous.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, my friend. Guys, check out Donovan. Let them know where to find you on Thursdays. And there you
can
go.
You can find me on Twitter at Donovan Fulmer. That's my handle right here on the show. You could also find me on TikTok as well. And then you can find Into the West Comics on Instagram, Twitter. We have a YouTube show, 6 p.m. every Thursday, where we break down trailers, comic books, movies, shows. We do it all on the show, hosted by Mr. Frank Pena himself and Sonny Hatley. I'm joined with Paul Bagnoli, who's been on this program before, and myself. We have a great time from Las Vegas. So we're live. Come check us out on Thursday. Can't wait to have you on. And this week, we're having the one, the only Philip Kennedy Johnson, the current writer of Superman and Action Comics. He will be on the show this week. So come hang out with us. We'd love to see you there.
So excited, man. Congratulations. And you're
Thanks,
welcome
bud.
on anytime. Thank you so much, Don. Guys, that was awesome. We're moving right along into the next segment here. But show Don some love. Thursday, subscribe. Into the West Comics. They are awesome. And like I said, Philip Kennedy Johnson, he's an awesome writer. And speaking of comics, we're going to be talking about comics here in our next segment. So with that, let me get a little transition. Do we have a transition? We may not have a transition. If we don't have a transition, we don't got a transition. We'll just move into it. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring on another awesome person that I've gotten to meet. He's a channel that I started watching a little over a year ago. He's tonight's special guest, and for me, it's a real honor that he's here because he's another one of those guys that he's a massive inspiration. I love the way that he runs his channel. I love the way that he treats people. I love the way that whether you're in the chat or on the show, which I recently got to be on for the first time, you just feel so welcome, and it's so fun. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, to bring in the first of the next couple guests, Enosh Free from the Poindexter Lounge is here.
Hello there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm very sorry. The Poindexter Lounge was supposed to be here, but instead I thought that I might take over the Poindexter Lounge for just a moment. It's me, Sean Connery.
Sean Connery! I knew we were getting Sean Connery. Yes.
Well,
Yes,
I have a lot of requests,
Yeah.
but these days mostly I am retired. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Sean, massive fan.
Indubitably.
I'm a massive fan of your stuff on Jeopardy as well.
Well,
Absolutely love
you know that guy on Jeopardy who impersonates me. It's more of a comedic thing. It's not really meant to be, shall we say, on point as actually me. You know, if I were to say, "That's not what your mother said, Trebek," you see, it would carry more gravitas. More gravitas when I say
Yes.
it. Daryl Hammond was a fine young man, fine impersonator. I was very disappointed with his
portrayal.
with his impersonation, because it's not really an impersonation. It's more like he's trying to sound like Patrick Stewart, and that's not me, as we would say. Yes, but it became very, very popular.
Right. Yes,
and,
it did.
and I'm sure I'm very sure that you get plenty of the ladies, because I mean just even sounding close to this voice just makes the ladies swoon, as it were. That's in the picture of me in my yellow Speedo from the 60s with my long ponytail in my Speedo. That's how I made my millions.
Lots of sex appeal in that voice and that picture. For sure. Mr. Connery. Oh,
well, you probably don't want to speak to me anymore, even though I'm a big time star. But I'll give you back to the man who actually you wanted to be here tonight. I'm just appearing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got special surprise guest, Mr. Sean Connery.
Well, it was your first. I'm a longtime fan of yours, Austin.
Wow.
You don't know this. I've been watching. I mean, the other guy, Ty, he sucks. But you
Sean,
my friend.
Oh my
Listen,
gosh.
I'm old enough now that I can just say it the way it is. I don't have to pull the punches. Ty can bring it on. I'll punch Ty right in the face and put that little boy down. Do I look like a man? Do I look like a man who cares? I literally walked into Indiana Jones, into a whole franchise, ran by Harrison Ford, and stole it from underneath him. And all anyone talked about in that fourth movie was Sean Connery going to come back? Let's put it right out there. Nobody even cared if anyone else was coming back. Sheila who? Sheila what? No, it was Sean Connery. Will the real Henry Jones come forward?
I
literally had a picture. They paid me $2 million. They showed a picture in the film. The film sucked because I was not in it.
That's why the Indiana Jones franchise died out after
this next one. I will just say this next one. They're talking to me. They're courting me. There might be some time travel involved, and but from what I hear, it's going to be completely woke. So,
as the young YouTubers nowadays say it.
Yes. There's that Doom guy, that Doom Cook or whatever. The Commandant is what we used to call him back in the old school.
That loves the woke culture.
But listen. Before I go, I do want to say, Austin, please, seriously.
Yes.
Don't let Ty boss you around. He needs you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
He needs you. He needs good people like you. I mean, he's off gallivanting over that saggy melons, going here, there, going, for bubble tea and getting autographs from celebrities. He needs to remember that he needs good people like you at home running this channel, and those behind the scenes as well. Exactly. He's got some great people. I know that. Yes, there's some good people back there. Caiden Reed, yes, Caiden, good man, that Caiden, and a strong name.
It's Caiden, a strong name.
Caiden, you just know a name that's strong. Caiden Reed. Strong like a reed. And whatever a Caiden is, I like it. I like it a lot. So thank you all. Thank you for having me. I was glad to be one of your first guests. Long time fan. Even before you were on streaming. I just followed you around Vegas for a while.
You knew about me.
I knew about you. Yeah, everybody people know about you. Yes, they do.
Sean. Thank you, Sean.
Yes, my friend Moneypenny told me a lot about you. I followed you around from afar. Yes.
Thank you so much. So much.
Absolutely. It was indubitably wonderful to be here. Yes. And as I have said many times on the stream with Dawson, Perugia.
Yes.
Now I'm on my way to Tunisia to go find another relic of some kind. And I will leave you all.
Very good.
Hello, Cherie.
Welcome.
Cherie is such a beautiful name. Cherie is such a magnificent, it's such a strong, magnificent, sexy name. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Connery on the first episode of Lien On Me. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Connery. Very welcome. I'll go get Enos. She's in the other room. I come to the Poindexter Lounge on a regular basis. I like to look at his toys. Enos only has 2 Sean Connery toys. It's something that I think we should fix. Yeah, see, there's a good, strong woman right there. Cherie, she knows she has a sexy name. Yes, that's the kind of woman right there that gets James Bond up in the morning. Yes, and in at least one way. Get to wake up, and say hi. That's what I meant by that. Yes. Okay, I'm going to go now. And
ladies and gentlemen, Sean Connery.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sean.
Sean, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, Sean? How many times did I tell you you can't be disguising yourself as me? Get out of here, Sean. I was just trying to. Look, you're an old man. I get it, dude, but you can't be wandering into people's toy rooms like this, okay? You're not even on the screen. That kind of defeats the whole purpose. Well, I was just trying to help. No, you're not helping.
You're not even on screen. It doesn't do Austin any good if nobody sees. Oh, now you leave. Okay, whatever. Jeez, what the heck is going on here? Okay.
Dear God, Enosh, dude.
Hey, I'm sorry about
Sean hanging around there in the.
Dude, it's Labor Day. He decided to come over for a cookout, and then he just wanders into the toy room. And before I don't even know what he was doing, man. So, okay.
Well, man, Enosh, thank you so much for being here and for inviting your friends. I didn't just get Enosh. I got Sean Connery as well. That's what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you ask Enosh to come on the show.
Good guy.
Thank you so much, man, for being
here. Man, that
as
cup
I
is
said.
huge. It's
I know you got your whole. You are Deadpool, basically.
It looks like I'm Deadpool just sitting here, man. Like, what's going on, guys? What's going on?
I love it. You got a case of the Connerys in your toy room. Love it. Well, Enosh, thank you. Like I said, massive inspiration. I love how you run your channel, like how you make everyone feel like a family and just at home. And that's exactly what I want to do with anything I do on the internet. So,
Cherie. I think your name is sexy too, girl.
There you go. Enosh.
Hey.
The man, the myth.
Dude, let me tell you something, Austin. And by the way, Ty, I still love Ty. I was just messing. What am I talking about? Sean says stuff sometimes that does not necessarily reflect the Poindexter Lounge. Just say it. Before rumors start. Enosh doesn't like Ty now. Enosh is Enosh went on there talking about Ty and said I love Ty.
Sean Connery.
It's all Sean Connery. I can't control what Sean says. But no, dude, Austin, dude, you asked, and you know what, man? I'm sorry, I'm late. I'm here. I decided tonight to do. Yes, Tyler, we'll just be in a feud.
We're in a feud now. It's official.
It's official.
I'm taking to Twitter. It's happening. Yes. I started something on my show. Yes.
So, no, but seriously, man, you asked, and dude, you've been a good guy that I've gotten to know. I love all you guys over there at Pop Culture Corner, and I just Gavin, breaking character, subtract 1 point.
There you go.
At least just 1 point.
Right, yeah.
But no, man, you know what? You asked me, and like, I tried to do my show early tonight so that like I would have some time and everything, because I didn't want to be on, because normally I'm doing my show like at this time, or prepping for my show at this time. So I was like, it's like, I'm going to go on early tonight, and I picked some subjects that I literally thought that I was just going to be like, I'll just breeze through this and get over to that show. And man,
that's what I love, and I think you love this for the same reason, man. We've met so many cool people that we can just bring in, and whether we're recording or not, honestly, we just have great conversations, long conversations there. And we've made, like, it's just so fun. It's so fun. And speaking of that, I want to bring in another guy that I absolutely love.
Wait, hold on. You're bringing somebody else in already? Oh my God, you get the introductions, man. And now it's like, yeah, okay, let's get this guy out of here. It's like, what am I on the Conan O'Brien show? What's going on over here? Like, you're not enough. You're not enough, Enosh. You're good and everything. We like you. You're okay. But get that Sean guy back. We'll give him like 15 minutes. Enosh, yeah, what's going on? Yeah, we like you, Enosh. You're a good guy. We've watched you for a while. Yeah, you're old news now. You're old news, dude. Come on, get out.
No, I wanted to.
Yes, it's Mike Zero. Mike Zero is on the channel tonight. Tell all your friends so that guy can come over here. We did an episode of 2 Cents on Nonsense once, and it was like Mike Zero said this or whatever in the thumbnail, and somebody literally came in the chat we had never seen before and said, "Wait, I thought Mike Zero was going to be here. He's not."
Yeah.
Bye.
Right.
Okay. Tell all your friends, Mike Zero's here. Viewership goes way up for some reason. I don't know why. Because
Caiden, can you put that in the description real quick? No,
people just want to see him.
But with that, no, I wanted to bring you both on because look, I love
challenger. I love Mask of Shy. Can I just say that I love Mask of Shy, dude? Alessandro, I love you, bro. You are a good guy, man. And let me tell you something.
Amazing.
His art is fantastic. I mean, his art is absolutely fantastic. Go check him out if you haven't. Look him up, man. And yeah, Mask of Shy is great. Alessandro is great, and I gotta say too, he's a very, very like level-headed guy. Like I love how I've watched him over the last like couple of months. where like he's just honest and good guy. And you know what, dude, I'm gonna have to have you on the channel sometime. Like
he's been on our channel.
I don't know why I haven't had you, Alessandro. I don't know why, man. But I would love to have you on the Poindexter Lounge time and just talk to you about your art, man. We'll just do it one-on-one. How's that sound? See, I'm doing this. If you
oh God. There it is.
One up by Mike Zero. Should I go put on my Mark Uno stuff and come back as Mark Uno? I mean, should I go get Mark Uno? He's out in the other room too. He's out in the other room too. Not that I'm that guy, because I'm not that guy. Just
I'm not.
Breaking character again.
Jane, Star Wars stuff, but I like George Lucas. I want him back. No.
Mike Zero sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I don't know. Mike, you've been sucking helium there? What's going on, bro?
I use a voice modulator whenever I go on the real channel. This is my real voice.
Dear
I'm licking this corner here.
That's terrifying. Right,
and I don't like your stream, where you try to expose me. I don't like it. And
well, Mike, I can tell you, nobody wants to see you exposed.
I've seen all the videos.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love Ty support. Okay. Much love. It was a valiant effort, Caiden. I know. We tried.
You had one chance, buddy. One chance to come in here with Enosh.
Right. I want to bring him in because he's been in the background watching us fool around, and I want to bring him in on it because I love his show. I love his content. And honestly, when I think of people who know about comics and comic knowledge, I think about Enosh, and I think about this guy right here, Phil Barker. What's up, man? What is up? I know you've been watching a lot in the background. I've just been waiting. But what is up, man? Thank you so much for being here, for being on the show. How you doing?
He's like, I've been here 3 hours, man.
Yeah.
20 minutes. 20 minutes. Bad. And let me tell you, I had no idea you had the ghost of Sean Connery wandering around your house. That's got to be pretty wild, all things considered.
Dude's alive.
Okay. Anyway, Austin, thank you so much for the invite. I've been looking forward to this all day. I've been kind of battling a headache all weekend because of the seasonal changes. So I'm doing all right, all things considered. Hello. Is it Shri? Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Shri.
Okay.
Yes.
Shri. Cool. Hello to you too.
But yes, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited you're here. I know I want to get your guys' thoughts before we get into the and yes, he's got the famous Mountain Dew too, where it's official. But before we get on to the comic stuff, because I definitely want to talk comics with you guys and your love for it and all of our it's. I feel like comics is obviously why we're all here in the first place. I think
and comics are.
Right, the things that you turn the pages and
right
they
there.
have the pictures of that's the you may have talked to one of the guys.
Are these comics?
That's the one.
Those are comics?
The one. That's the one, and that's the one.
Yeah.
Right there. But I want to get
would that be a comic?
There you go. Oh my gosh.
That's a comic?
Everything.
Signed by Dan Jurgens. Dude, I'm so excited.
Oh my God.
I'm so excited. We just had that interview with Dan Jurgens, a couple of weeks ago. And and Dan Jurgens is coming to the Motor City Comic Con next month, and I get to meet the dude. And I'm like super excited about that because I just interviewed him and like we've been talking like online now for a while.
The man who killed Superman. That's exciting.
I do. Hey, as the big Superman guy that I am, and Dan Jurgens really was the guy who kind of got me into reading comics. As far as like reading comics, I was always a Superman guy, but as far as comics go, like I love the stuff that Jurgens and Ordway did, and always will. And so I am super excited to actually get to talk to him like in person and like next month. It's gonna be awesome.
That's super rad.
That was a great interview, man. I absolutely love that, and that was so cool that you got to talk to him. But that's kind of a great way to start and we'll go right to Phil with that. Phil, if there is one comic writer, I guess living or dead, that you could meet or talk to, where would you start there and who and why?
That list is tremendous. I guess first and foremost, Bill Finger.
Okay.
I would absolutely meet Bill Finger if I had the opportunity to. Also, Jim Aparo. Jim Aparo probably draws Batman. He's probably one of my favorite Batman artists. Okay. I would also he's alive, so I'd probably definitely like to meet Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo because they're just a fantastic duo in their own right.
maybe also it's not quite comic related, but I met George Romero. That was cool.
That George
before he passed.
Okay.
Yeah, George Romero was really nice.
King
really
of
nice
horror
dude.
right there. And
yeah.
I mean, like,
I'd really like to meet Dan Jurgens. That's definitely one conversation I'm glad Enosh got to have. So that's really cool. You know, I would also probably like to meet Grant Morrison.
Yeah, he's on my list. He's
Yeah.
on my list. Even though I disagree with what he said recently,
It's contradictory. It's absolutely contradictory of his Superman. It's so funny.
It is, but I still want to meet the guy.
Me too.
I'm sorry. What did he say?
He said something to the effect of like a tyrant Superman, like getting angry over like Lois dying defeats the purpose of the something to that. I don't really remember exactly what it was, but it was.
Is it this new BS like being mad about like
he's
evil Superman?
Basically talking about he doesn't see the point of evil Superman. Like there's like that. This is what he said, that you know, if Superman lost Lois, his reaction wouldn't be to
become tyrant. There it is.
Because he technically compared it to himself and was like, I wouldn't become a tyrant if I lost.
Well, I think it depends. I think it depends upon how it's presented. If you present it in a way that traditionally he's had this no kill policy, he's had this very stand back. I mean, he's a god among men. So if he's got that kind of policy this whole time, and he's holding back that whole time, right? He could rule everybody, but he doesn't. And he's holding back. And then the one thing that connects him to humanity, Lois Lane, and that's the important narrative there, is that, like, yes, his parents, but like that love that he has for the, you know, depending upon whether or not you're reading something where Superman's parents are alive, you know, Jonathan and Martha Kent, or they're dead. You know, Lois is typically that last thing that connects him with
right.
Yeah. And so, you know, so I don't think it's so much about him just becoming a tyrant. I think it's just about him kind of waking up out of that slumber, and like to watch her, especially like with the Joker and that like that whole story and stuff, you know, about her dying, when Superman has to be faced with actually seeing Lois die or be murdered in front of him. I think that changes his perception of the way that he has handled things. I think you can write it. I think you can write it a million stories where that's always the right thing to do, is to just bring somebody to justice and not kill them. Right. I mean, I don't think he has to kill every villain at the end of every story. And I think that's good. But I think that when you present Superman in a story where he's faced with her murder and all those things, and all of a sudden all of those judgment calls, and I think it's something even for us, even as human beings, if something like that happens, and especially if we feel like to blame for it, because one of the reasons why Superman put off even having a relationship with Lois or telling Lois who he was is to what? Protect her. Right. And so then in those stories where he has brought her into his world, he knows very much that he can't always protect her. But when faced with that, taking on that guilt and all those things all at once. Yeah. I mean, to me, it makes sense. Not in every story, but I don't think there's anything wrong in telling that story, because I think it's a good reflection of how we make snap judgments. And yes, even Superman can make a snap judgment in a story. And, you know, and I want to see, and I like seeing how those stories play out. It's not that he just turns evil, because most of those stories, even in Justice, he doesn't start off as just being evil.
Right.
You know, he starts off of thinking, well, you know, like I need to correct these things, and only I can do it. Right. And he wants everybody else's buy-in, but then he doesn't get everybody else's buy-in. And so now he feels like he has to take it upon himself. Well, if these people aren't going to buy in, these people that I've trusted and fought alongside, then I have to force them to, because I know what's right.
It's also accelerated by like other characters like Wonder Woman, the
Yeah.
influence of Black Adam. A couple other different characters also have a huge hand in influencing like just Superman's downright fall to just straight power. So
yeah. Or like Mask of Shai says, or if you have like a story where he's brainwashed by like, you know, the anti-life equation or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so there's always these reasons. It's not that Superman just turns evil just for the sake of turning evil. And that's what I really don't like about that argument right now, that I'm seeing a lot of people kind of drop in the post Zack Snyder's Justice League world right now, is, oh, well, we don't like evil Superman. Evil Superman is such a horrible trope and it's just overdone.
And what a question. Is it why exactly is the black suited Superman on Superman and Lois evil? How did that happen?
That's a good question, right? There you go. There you go.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? No, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I'm watching all these people who are loving Lois
Loving the
or
show,
Superman and
right?
Lois, loving the show. And they're like, oh, it's so great to get a traditional Superman. And nobody's griping
Nobody's
about
asking
the
that
fact.
question.
Nobody's asking. Well, I mean, and that one's flat out melts Lois's head. He does the killing in that one. Now, mind you, it's on a world that she's with, you know.
Oh, sure. It's all gray because it's on an extra different Elseworld, and it's like, well, no shit, everything's an Elseworld live action. Come on now.
Exactly. And no, I agree with you, man. I agree with you absolutely 100%, because I've been asking the same question myself, because I can enjoy things. Like, I enjoy the Superman and Lois show. I've got some issues with it, but I enjoy it on a level. But yeah, as soon as you start seeing Black Suit Superman fly around and he's killing people and like responsible for the death of a world, and you're just like, well, okay.
Why?
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Why?
Yeah. You want there to be a purpose. And that's and that's why that's why I'm interested in talking to you guys. I wasn't the biggest Superman, fan until I saw Man of Steel. Man of Steel was like, okay, yeah, I'm interested in this character now, because that was the movie that it felt like that connected him to humanity more than anything else. That one I really felt the like immigrant people story that people relate to, and being from another planet. But the other stuff I thought it was interesting, because like, for the reasons that I find that I like Superman, I think a lot of people find opposite. They like the Boy Scout version or all that. And not to say that that's bad or anything. I never found the right comics. I think that were those stories that were the combination of him being the Boy Scout, as well as, enough story to make it interesting or meaningful to me, besides him just being a goody two shoes that did everything all the right time. So what Superman stories for you guys kind of impacted you guys and separated it from the like traditional Superman Boy Scout trope?
Do you want to go first, Enosh?
No, go, man. I've been talking. You go.
For me, honestly, it was a lot of Grant Morrison's. It wasn't quite solo Superman, but it was definitely like Grant Morrison's Justice League run that came. He did a little bit of it with Mark Waid around volume 4 or 5, but really like the first 4 volumes is Morrison's take on the Justice League. It's Kal-El Superman, Bruce Wayne Batman, Diana Prince Wonder Woman, but then you've got Connor Hawke Green Lantern, you've got Wally West Flash, you've got Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. It's kind of a different mix, but it's also very 2000s. But I think what did it there was like there was kind of a blend of like Superman post coming back from fighting Doomsday, Reign of Superman. It was like right around a couple years after that, so his hair's still a little bit longer, and then it's right before he turns into Superman Blue. I've also read Superman Earth 1. That was, I think, I would honestly say my exposure to Superman really is a lot more, modern than Silver Age, even though I'm a huge fan of the Fleischer Studios cartoons. Those had a really big impact on me from a young age. So I've never really considered Superman as like, the truth, justice, American way hero. I've always just kind of seen him as like the world hero, if you will. And anytime when I was younger, obviously, and even going into my adulthood now, it would kind of like irritate me when people, I want truth, justice, American way, Christopher Reeve, and it like hearing that so many different times would be the reason why it's just like, that's really one thing I don't really care for about the character. But if it works for some, it works for some, and it's totally gravy. Like that first Superman movie that Richard Donner made, I've gone back and watched it countless times now, and I used to not be a fan of it, but I can appreciate it now for what it is, and I can definitely respect what Christopher Reeve instilled into bringing that character to life then, and why it was so important that some of those values still get rooted into today. But the thing is about Superman is like, people want to cling to this very hard Americana. Yeah, at that tail end of truth, justice, they want to dovetail into that American way so hard. But I think honestly, what I love about now is like I'm reading Superman Son of Kal-El by Tom Taylor, and he really like he finally like kind of modernized that phrase into truth, justice, and a better world. I'm like, yes, that is what I love about Superman and the concept of who Superman is.
Yeah. And I've read the first issue of that, and it's really, really good with Jonathan Kent and all that. And
yep,
absolutely, I agree. And real quick, so you mentioned Christopher Reeves. So then, what was it about Henry Cavill's, obviously portrayal, representation, all that. That
Well,
was like, okay.
like those movies are before my time, so I didn't get to see what it was like to see 78 and Superman 2, 3, and 4 in the theaters. My first experience with Superman on the big screen was Superman Returns, and I just remember walking out of that film just feeling kind of that was a movie. And then I just remember like walking into Man of Steel and just, I don't know. I felt like it was going to be different because I remember watching Watchmen not too long before that and remembering like if he can bring this to life, he should be able to do Superman. And it's my favorite live action version of Superman. Like I've never gone back. Like everything about that incarnation of Superman is everything I can appreciate on every respectable level, even though I love Batman versus Superman more for a couple different reasons. But I think Man of Steel is idealistically probably the most perfect Superman movie ever made.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't a big fan of the Christopher Reeve, Richard Donner. They're cool. I saw them when they were as a kid. I thought they were really cool, but then Man of Steel obviously took the cake. But then Enosh, what was it for you? What comics? I mean, obviously, I know you just talked to Dan Jorgens, and that's got to be one of them. But
yeah, I mean, look, like I said, like I just kind of alluded to for a second, like so I picked up a comic, because I was born in '76. Okay, so I remember going to see that first Superman movie. So I grew up, I get both sides of it, right? That's why, like, I'm kind of like a mix of there because I got this great love for just the character overall, not just one era of the character, not just this era, not just the old, not just the new. I love it all. And so, and I guess I look at it a little bit different because, like, I can look at the old Superman, right? The Christopher Reeve Superman, the Truth, Justice, and American Way. Like, I grew up on Super Friends. Okay. Like a lot of people now, they'll be, I watched that on HBO Max or whatever, and I couldn't stand it. It was boring or whatever. Like, dude, I was rushing home from school every day to watch Super Friends.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Like, I mean, like that was my thing, man. I loved Super Friends. That was my first real introduction to DC. Okay. Like, I mean, like I grew up with Underoos, man, Batman and Superman and Aquaman even, and stuff like that. And so, so there's that. So and hey, I mean, like it's funny because I got them all because I don't know why I had them here, but like I got like all my like old superpower action figures, which is what Super Friends, went into, and so right. Like I've got, I got Darkseid there.
Old school Daddy Darkseid.
Yeah, I got Darkseid. I got a really nice Red Tornado. A lot of people see it when I do it with Dawson. I got that. I mean, I got this is one I've been looking for. Arm fell off, but I got a Brainiac.
Oh
wow!
That's cool.
Heck that's yeah, cool. Man! I got a Brainiac. I got Starfire, which is nice.
Firestorm.
I'm sorry, Firestorm. Did I say Starfire? I got Titans on the mind still. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah. There goes my credit altogether. I'm sorry. We'll see you guys next time. But no, I got a little Lex Luthor action going on there. Even some old school Green Lantern.
Green Arrow.
Green Lantern. God, I'm losing it over here.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I'm losing it over here. Green Arrow. Jeez. I got Wonder Woman. Yep. Wonder Woman. I love that she's still got that going on.
Nice. Very cool.
I got Aquaman, and his legs are supposed to, I think, go do something, but I got Aquaman there. He talks to fish. I got an old school Steppenwolf.
Oh wow.
That's wild.
Old school. Notice the spikes.
Yeah.
Notice the spike. I just got a 6-inch figure of this version of him too, which is cool.
No,
Here's what I was looking at when I said Green Arrow.
Green Lantern.
Right there.
Green Lantern.
And this and then I got the Flash here.
Nice.
It's a really nice emblem still on him too.
Yeah.
And then this one, I can't believe I found this one, and for like super cheap because this guy goes for quite a bit. And I found this guy like at a secondhand place, and he's immaculate.
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate.
Holy crap.
So that's what I grew up on, and then I got a couple newer ones like
I used to catch those shows on reruns. So I used to catch Super Friends. I used to catch like the Scooby-Doo meets like Batman or whoever.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Week, Aquaman, like that short-lived season where it was Aquaman and Aqualad, like all that stuff. Yep. I just ate up, and it was on reruns on Boomerang, so I'd catch it after school too.
So I grew up with that stuff. Oh, here's something else too. I got like right here. I just realized I got the old Supermobile.
Wow.
I am.
Dude, you have
Actually, I can't believe. You know what? You just happened to catch me with this stuff like sitting right here because this is the piece de la resistance.
Oh, yep. That's my jam.
Whoa.
I love that Batmobile. I love that Batman and Robin. That's the jam right there. My hope is that Matt Reeves gets to emulate something like that in a future Batman film. I hope so.
I'm
That'd
telling
be
you
so
right
cool.
Kind of, yeah, when you think of it, he's already got the kind of convertible type look. Yeah.
Right.
That'd be kind of cool if he just flips the hood off. That'd be pretty.
Gets
sick.
a Robin.
I can appreciate
I'd be
that
down for
stuff. I can appreciate that stuff, but I can appreciate that right there too.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're talking about my boy earlier. I can appreciate that right there.
Oh, there you go.
Right. And
Cyborg.
And then of course when he's got his helmet down too, you gotta have that.
Oh, well,
but then also I can appreciate that.
See, that's rad.
Yeah,
I love death metal. Death metal was such a fun comic run.
Yes. I can even appreciate Danzig Superman. I swear, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a parody and take the Mother song, and because I was messing around one night on the stream, and I swear to God I'm gonna do it because I know the song, and so I'm just gonna record it and just. Well, I'm gonna have some fun with it, and maybe I'll do stop motion or like just do like bring because I've got all the death metal action figures, so maybe I'll just come out and do a music video with them. Just be like Martha.
Martha!
Yeah!
Oh, Mother! Tell Batman to come save you tonight. Oh, Lex Luthor's got such a fright.
Do it!
Oh, Mother!
Dude,
I'm about to take on Doomsday, and if he wants to bang heads with me, I can show him what it's like. Till I'm bleeding. Anyways, okay.
Dude, that as a stop motion would be.
Wouldn't it be hilarious? I think it'd be
so
funny. But yeah, so like I grew up on that stuff, you know, and I loved it. And I saw like I saw all the Superman movies in the theater, and I loved Christopher Reeve. But and I picked up an occasional comic. But when I did pick up the first time I ever, you know, read a comic seriously as more kind of adult, I was 16 years old. And I just got back from vacation and I was at a laundromat with a buddy of mine because we had all this dirty laundry. And my grandma said, well, because everybody was doing their laundry and I needed clean clothes. So we went up at like 3 a.m, went to this 24-hour, you know, store. And comics were huge then because it was like 93-ish, 94-ish. And the trade paperback of The Death of Superman was there. It was $5. And I was like, you know, I needed something to pass the time while I was doing laundry. So I grabbed it and went back to the laundromat and I sat there. Thank you, Adam. He's going to come back too. Cause we just barely touched the surface. We just barely covered his Superman stuff because we had like 50 minutes. So, but I remember sitting down and reading that. And when I got through it, I was like, whoa, like
I remember the first time I read that too. Yeah.
That wasn't something for little kids. Yeah. This was something that like was serious. And I didn't realize at 16 that comics were like that. You know what I mean? Because like the last I'd seen comics, you know, were like, you know, it's like old stuff, you know, Silver Age stuff, you know, whatever, golden, it just, and that really like got me started. And so from there, what really got me, you know, like, I read all that stuff. I read all the Reign of the Superman stuff and started reading other stuff because my buddy was into Marvel at the time. And I was big into DC. And so we both were collecting the Superman titles, you know, so every week, man, that's what I loved about it. Every week you got a new story, different, you know, writers team and all that stuff and artists, but you got that continuing story. And I loved that. But my buddy was into Marvel, so he loved Wolverine and he loved Spider-Man. So I got to read Maximum Carnage like while it was happening and all that stuff.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, dude. And you know, I mean, that's one of the like that's honestly one of the, like my drawbacks from this new Venom movie. I loved Venom 1. I thought it was good. My same drawback is like it may be good, but it's so foreign to me to think about a Maximum Carnage story kind of going on without Spider-Man. Like I don't know. I'm not saying it can't be good because the first Venom movie was good. Right. But think about how much better it could have been.
I've been thinking about that, like what it's like for Spider-Man fans, and if you're also happened by also association a fan of Venom or Carnage or any kind of symbiote, you kind of have to wrestle with the idea of whether or not you're totally okay with Venom and now Carnage, by the looks of it, to having almost no, at this point anyway, no contact whatsoever with the character of Spider-Man. And, you know, if you look at the two incarnations we've been presented with, you know, you have Spider-Man 3's, you've got Topher Grace Venom, then you've got, you know, Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock's Venom. It's like pick and choose which one you want. But also, I think that's also the beauty of the comics, to Enosh's point, getting to read Maximum Carnage at the time of when it was actually happening is probably a feat unto itself. Because I think that's when Carnage was really starting to get super, super big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also why he also wound up in the animated series, because of their dual popularity between Venom and Carnage.
Yes.
Yep. And I think that's probably why I think, you know, this movie has a lot going for it, box office wise, is the addition of Carnage. You know, I kind of said it earlier. I think, Phil, you were watching. I know, Phil, we've talked about this. You really like the Venom movie.
I'm a fan of it. I would say it's got its flaws for sure, but I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, I haven't honestly seen it in like a year or so, but I don't know. I always thought it was surprising that it did as well as it did. I don't know if it was because it was
I feel
Hardy or
overseas, things like that.
There was a little bit too much comedy for me. There was a little bit too much and that was the one thing about the first trailer for even this Maximum Carnage movie, because a Maximum Carnage movie should be like straight up horror. If you're really going to do it right.
Yeah. I read Maximum Carnage once, and it's a horror story.
So for that first trailer to be full of nothing but one-liner jokes, like one right after it was like bam, bam, joke. I see you. You say I was like,
what's happening?
What is going on? Like, please don't tell me that they're going to ruin this. But, you know, like, I'm willing to give it a shot. You know, like I said, I gave the first one a shot. I actually wrote a song about the first Venom one. It was, what was it? Instead of Dust in the Wind, Turd in the Wind. I actually did a funny Turd in the Wind thing.
I think I've seen that
with me and my guitar just being stupid.
I think I might have seen that.
I was just like, because I just thought of it one day and I was just like, I'm just going to record this. Like so I set up my phone and I just recorded. I didn't put a lot of time into it, but no. But you asked me about what finally turned me over to understanding Superman, as far as not being the big blue Boy Scout. So one was obviously the death of Superman, but that put me on an adventure all in of itself, going back for back issues and trying to do that. To find the John Byrne Man of Steel miniseries and read through this, it really showed me something different, because it showed me a Superman that was not just the big blue Boy Scout. You know, it starts off with him in Smallville. It tells his origin story again. It was a reintroduction of Superman to the public. But what I loved about it was the first time that we saw in the comics like that, or really in any medium. I mean, except for maybe a little bit, but maybe you can make a point for George Reeves, because George Reeves' Superman, his Clark was not that bumbly idiot Clark, like, you know, but Superman was still the main guy. You know what I mean? It was even though his Clark was still confident and everything, it was just basically Superman in a suit. Right. But this right here, this set introduced Clark Kent as the character. Superman was the facade, was the mask, was the uniform that he wore in public to do what he had to do.
Right. And
that right there, I think that if people can get that, everything else comes second nature. If you go into Superman thinking that Superman is just Superman, you miss the point of the character to me. You miss the point. And that's where people go, Superman's boring, he's overpowered. It's because all you see is that guy right there.
Right.
You got to see the man. And so this John Byrne series really did a lot for me as far as that, and really changed and like I said, then obviously with Jurgens and, you know, the stories that they were telling, but it really helped me see Superman, not as Superman, but as Clark.
Yeah.
And I loved that, because Clark had problems.
Clark has real life issues. Clark has a family. I love the fact that they kept his parents around in this, that his parents weren't dead, and so Clark has a family to protect. Clark has this love for Lois, and he has that going back and forth still. So they still kept that of like him going back and forth for a while, with, does she love Superman? Does she love Clark? That duality and stuff. And the point that it finally got up to him revealing himself to her was a huge step in those comics. And then everything that came afterwards. And so that's where I always tell people to start, man. If you want to understand Superman, where I think you really get a better idea of who Superman is to start with those comics, because Clark is the real character. And if you understand Clark, you understand Superman so much better. And Superman will be much more fun for you, I think, because you'll understand that, like, it's not just this God creature person thing. It's a guy. You know what? It's that moment in BVS. Ironically, it's that Martha moment, right? Where Batman doesn't look at Superman as anything more than this alien creature who could destroy everything, that is overpowered, that is everything. And that's like,
suit. Yep.
Yeah. You know what? And I swear, like that's a question that I'd love to ask Zach, if maybe he was making a statement about what people think about Superman. And I'm just thinking about this just now. I mean, I've seen that movie a million times, like, because that's how people see Superman.
The whole media perspective was an entire commentary on the character of Superman. Bruce's motives included and also aside, like the whole two sides, people were for Superman, and you also have people against Superman. And I think that is also a testament to where his, the conversation surrounds him today, because a lot of people tend to, they lean one side, and like us, we find a lot of love through the outlet of Clark Kent. And then there's just a lot of people who just see Superman and they just expect him to be this all-powerful being who can do no wrong and has all this power to do whatever, whenever, and he can be anywhere at any time. And it's just like, you guys really don't understand the character as well as you think you do, but go on.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Right. But Lois comes in at that moment, like Lois comes in at that moment. And when Bruce's like, why'd you say that name? And people mock that, but it's the same people usually who don't get Superman, which I think is funny, because they'll mock that moment and they'll be like, oh yeah, Martha. But Lois even comes in and says, that's his mother's name. And it's that realization that Batman has at that moment, because he realizes, wait a second, Superman is not who I thought he was.
Holy shit, there's a human identity behind the Superman
that
I didn't even think to consider of, because I'm so pissed off at everything else that's happened.
Yeah. So, it's an interesting commentary on actually how real life people deal with Superman.
Exactly. And that's what I love. That's what got me into it with Zack Snyder, and how he dealt with that in Man of Steel, of, everything that he did from, I remember sitting in the theater and looking over to my friend, but this is so cool. The scene where he's a teenager and he starts the atmosphere starts hitting him. Things are changing. He runs into that closet. I was like, this is just another side of the character I'd never, it had never really been put on screen. Like you said, it was, the only thing that was there was this all-powerful,
it's the why of it, exploring the why of it, I think, is why it worked for a lot of people. And when you explore, like, how, for example, the sequence you're talking about where Clark begins to figure out that he can see and has X-ray vision, and he can evidently like melt the handle off a doorknob, like the why of that at such a young age, you're just like, why can I do all this? How can I do all this? It's going to set you off. It's going to set every sensory that you have going off absolutely berserk. And then when you have a Kryptonian child on top of that, it's even worse. So who's going to be able to calm him down?
Hey, William, by the way, you missed, man. Before I came in, Sean Connery was here, man. You
totally missed Sean Connery's ghost.
Missed Sean Connery, man.
I got the big one for the first episode. You missed it. I got Sean himself, man. Mr. Touch Now.
I love William. William's such a good guy.
Yeah, sure. Shout out William. I know William left a super chat like yesterday, and YouTube, made it go away. You can't see it in the comments. But shout out William. But yeah, I mean, that's a big thing for me. I thought that Man of Steel, and obviously now hearing from you guys, right, that these comics kind of seem to take that inspiration of the grounding him as I mean, he's just as much, alien as he is human and things like that, and you want to ground that. But besides Superman, what other comics for you guys that influenced your love for? Because I know all of us here are DC. It's DC is where I think our love falls first, right? As far as comic wise. So what other DC comics, for you that brought you into that world and immersed you, and which ones growing up did you love, like, seeing interact with each other the most as you start expanding your universes?
Well, right now I'm reading Batman and the Outsiders, which, again, drawn by Jim Aparo, written by Mike Barr. And I'm just kind of on a Jim Aparo kick. One of the first things I ever read when I started collecting was Nightfall. So
okay, yep,
by Chuck Dixon. Chuck Dixon's actually one of my favorite writers. I'm also collecting his Nightwing run. I got Ostrander's Suicide Squad, an all trade paperback recently. So that was a fun kind of read through and to see how that whole team operates, especially from that time, seeing this legendary run from John Ostrander. I got that right around the time the Suicide Squad came out, so that was a kind of nice side by side. Also, again, I mentioned Grant Morrison's Justice League, JLA. I'm a huge fan of Scott Snyder's. I've got a lot of his solo Batman stuff, and Sean Murphy's White Knight and Curse of the White Knight is good. Yeah, I'm kind of a mixed bag, mostly a Batman guy, but I've also got a lot of like Elseworldish tales, some of the new 52 stuff I've also got. Like I've got Aquaman, Wonder Woman, a little bit of Superman, a little bit of Earth 2. I was actually looking at getting Volume 2 today for Earth 2. There's also some stuff I haven't collected, like Under the Red Hood. It's funny, I don't really have too many like older single issues. I've thought about getting back issues. I actually have like a full like set of Mark Waid Flash that I have to siphon through and put in a box somewhere. But a lot of my comics are actually really, really current from the last 10 years. A lot of my single issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm the exact opposite. Most of my stuff, like I haven't collected. Like I got into Rebirth when Rebirth started, mainly, and I'll tell you, mainly the reason why I got into Rebirth was
Superman.
Yeah, with Superman. That was it right there, because I started reading that Lois and Clark series leading up to it, because I really didn't like New 52 Superman. I didn't like the look, even though like I got an action figure. I got a couple action figures of him. I got the Jim Lee full color one, but then I also have the black and white one that was, I don't know if you guys see, it's not in here. It like opens up really cool, and it looks really cool. And there's a Batman and a Wonder Woman. So I've got the Batman, the Wonder Woman, and I gave the Superman, but I gave the Wonder Woman to Tiffany. So Tiffany has it upstairs in her room. She got a room that she has. But I dropped off though of even Rebirth, because the stories just weren't there. Like at first I felt like, okay, this is cool. I love the fact that they were doing that. And then it was like, then it just started getting weird again. And I dropped off, and honestly, like I'd read some stuff online every once in a while, just kind of keep up with, I like keeping up with stories, and kind of seeing where they're at and seeing, if there's jump in points,
Same way. I'm the same way. Yeah.
Like I did read the Flash through Rebirth. Like when Rebirth started, like I think I was like 5 titles, man. It was like both Batman titles, all the Superman titles, and more than that actually. So it was like 2 Batman titles. There was 2 Superman titles, or more. I got all the Batman and Superman, Justice League, the Flash, and there might have been one more that I did, but it was quite a few. So like I was getting all that stuff, and slowly but surely different ones started falling off here and there. And,
I think by the time New 52 ended, I was kind of out there as well. I was kind of on my way out. And I know for sure right around the time Rebirth started, I read the first issue of Tom King's Batman, and I was like, yeah, no, I can't do this. But the All-Star Batman that Snyder and Romita did, that shit was rad.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's ironic because now I'm collecting Batcat. I think Batcat's probably the best Batman stuff Tom King's done. That's the bigger irony for me.
Yeah. So like most of my stuff was going backwards. So for a long time I collected Batman. Even before I started collecting Superman. Now that I think about it, I had some Batman comics, because we were just talking about it earlier on my stream. So when Batman 89 came out, that was the year of Batman. Everything was Batman. And so I remember like I fully embraced that. And I had some Batman comics that I didn't even understand at all.
right? Like I but I mean, I was right there in the thick of it. Like, so like, it was right there during that time where they were bringing in Tim Drake, and so like, I was all up on that. I was buying some back issues and stuff, not even realizing what they were, of like the first appearance of Jason Todd.
Oh,
This right here is one of my favorite books of all time.
wow!
I love that
There
cover.
it is.
The cover is just awesome.
Yeah.
You got Jason Todd stealing the only way Titans could have been any better for me would have been to actually show this moment. Show this moment. And actually, to be honest with you, it was this comic too that made me not like, I thought, you guys were talking about the Batman earlier. So when I first saw the Batmobile from the new movie, I was like, what is it? But you know what I realized? I realized I had gotten this in my head because of all the movies that we've seen, that the Batmobile has to be this sensational, like ridiculous, over the top vehicle, right? It's either this fantastical thing with wings that goes up the side of buildings, or it's a tank, you know what I mean? Or, it's something else, you know what I mean? And to see it as that muscle car, I was like everybody else, kind of as they reacted. I was just kind of like, oh, and I even said this, and I wish I could take this back, because I said, it's got a freaking windshield on it.
I remember you saying that too.
Like, they're gonna put a bullet through that. Like, what the heck, man? And then I went back because I literally started thinking to myself, wait a second, because I'm like this. Like, I may react to stuff, but I will always submit to canon and to what has been there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I was wrong about that. I was dead wrong about that, because I started thinking, wait a second, what happened? And that was when I had to realize, you know what? I've been programmed this way, to think that the Batmobile has to be this way, because this is what I've seen in Hollywood, not what's in the comics. And yeah, there's been some fantastical Batmobiles and stuff like that. That's where we get that idea from. But to go back and read some of these, especially during this era right here, because the dude had a Stingray. It was just a black Corvette Stingray, man.
Yeah.
That was it. No symbols, no nothing, just a black Stingray, man. And then like, he's got like a Lamborghini here, and it's kind of got the Batman on the front, but like, it's very subtle. You can see kind of the cowl there on the front, that it's like, but it's very, very subtle. It's got the ear that goes up there and the ear that goes up there, and then but I love this. And this comic right here has one of the best lines I think Batman has ever said. It's like something like, he comes back and he sees that the wheels are gone out the Batmobile, because this doesn't actually happen. He doesn't come upon Jason Todd he comes back and the wheels are just gone. And he says something like, man, gotta have a lot of stones to steal the wheels off the Batmobile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but it's such a great thing. And so like, yeah, so I had a lot of these. I have a lot of these. And so I collected a lot of that stuff. As far as other characters, Batman was definitely my secondary character. That was like, Superman was that inspiration that I always loved. Batman is that second one. I did read, I read some Green Lantern for a little while. I was a big Hal Jordan fan. I know that it's not cool anymore to say that you like Hal Jordan. Like it almost dates you. Like if you say you like Hal Jordan, and people are like, oh, you're an old person. Like it's Jon Stewart or nothing, and it's like, okay, I'm sorry, man. Like, but I'm not sorry, because I grew up with Hal Jordan being Green Lantern. I mean, just right here, man.
Yeah, that was your
superpowers, man. Like, your super friends, man. That was who it was. And so now I like Jon Stewart. It actually took me a while to warm up to Jon Stewart, just because he was somebody different.
Right.
But I really dug that. And so those were kind of the three main characters. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else, because there wasn't. Well, the Flash. I got into the Flash quite a bit, and that was mostly that was newer, actually. That I actually got into the Flash, because if you know the history of my channel at all, I didn't know a lot about the Flash. Now my son, his favorite character is the Flash. Landon's favorite character is the Flash. He loves the Flash. But the thing was we started watching the Flash TV show. And obviously, and we were watching and stuff, and we would do reviews on it. And so people really dug that, but people started asking us to do watch parties before like watch parties were a thing. And so we'd do these watch parties and stuff and just watch it along with people. And then I had, the second season when they did the Earth 2 thing and they had the Man in the Iron Mask and stuff like that. So I had a theory about the Man in the Iron Mask that I thought that he might be John Wesley Shipp, but John Wesley Shipp as the 90s character from the 90s TV show. Right. Which is kind of ironic because they ended up bringing that character in, which I thought was awesome. But, so I was kind of right because there still was John Wesley Shipp. Now, people back then were going on about that it was a black guy and it was this guy and that guy. And I was like, no, the Man in the Iron Mask is John Wesley Shipp. We just don't know who he is. And it turns out he was Jay Garrick and that character's still going. But I had that idea. And I didn't know a lot about the Flash. And I was learning about the Flash as we were watching the show and I'd get some comics and stuff. Well, then I was sitting after there and Tiffany said, I told Tiffany my theory and Tiffany said, well, you should make a video about that. So I made this little 8-minute video, like right behind me here with my old camera and it looks horrible. And that video did like 1 million views. And it's still like, it's well over 1 million now. And the funny thing though, was after that happened, I felt like I had to learn about the Flash.
Right.
Because all of a sudden I became the Flash guy.
Oh,
like you do 1 million hits on a video about the Flash, people start asking you questions about the Flash.
Right.
And so it was like I had to do kind of a crash course on the Flash and like try to read up all that I could about different characters and scenarios and stuff like that. And so
as his popular show is debuting.
Yeah, and so I had to, I really had to do a crash course in learning, and I loved it. But because learning about just the Speed Force and how it works, and all these like secondary characters, and characters that use the Speed Force and different speedsters, and all these different worlds and everything that opened up with the Flash. So the Flash is really a very key central. That was one of the reasons why I love to see what happened to him in Zack Snyder's Justice League, because it really put the Flash where he needed to be, like as a central. I was really, really bothered by that when you just see the Flash falling all over himself and acting like a fool and just making jokes and stuff like that. That was really disheartening. But to see him in his rightful place, like literally being, at the center of it. And I love the line that he talks about, with his dad, like, Dad, know that your son was one of the best, like among the best. Like that's just,
I love how that whole thing it implies that he set rules for himself. It just completely wipes out the Justice League version, because it's like this is a version that's smart, that knows about what he's doing, that has some idea of what he can do, of what his capabilities are. And I mean, I thought obviously that version, but Flash's version is a character I know very little about, and more. The version that I do know is the Wally West version, not the Barry Allen. And that's mainly because of Justice League and things like that, growing up watching that show and stuff.
Which is my biggest concern, too, for the Flash movie. Not my biggest, but it's like regarding the Flash in the Flash movie.
That is Barry Allen?
My biggest concern in the Flash movie is which Flash we're going to get. Are we going to get just the 2017 Flash? From Justice League, right? Or is Muschietti going to be inspired? And I've heard rumors that he was inspired by
the Snyder Cut. I've seen similar sentiments,
and so I hope that that's true. I really hope that that's true, and that we get a good, serious take on the Flash, and that he's not just bumbling all over himself and trying to find himself and do all that stuff again.
Well, I don't know how credible this is, but I think Patty Jenkins said once upon a time that a lot of the DC directors throughout the 2017 cut of the film, as far as they considered canon. That said, you also have to look into who's still up in charge at WB, and it's a top-down mess, no matter what way you look at it. When you've got unconfident leadership in the form of Toby Emmerich, then really,
it's hard.
Kind of speaks for itself. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie, I got to tell you, man, is such a hard thing as a fan.
It is. I agree completely.
It's such a, I don't know. I like, because people ask me all the time, they'll send me, an email like, what do you think I should do? Do you think I should watch it? Do you think I shouldn't watch it? And I tell people like, look, it's a movie.
Right.
right? First of all, you shouldn't let anybody tell you whether or not you should watch a movie, and somebody shouldn't like. There's always going to be people who are going to give you their opinion about whether or not you should do it.
Yep.
Whatever, and that's good for them. But nobody should tell you whether or not you can watch a film, and especially somebody shouldn't tell you that you're a racist for watching a film. I did see a tweet today that I thought was, I'm not mad at the person. Because I understand where it comes from. Look, as somebody who has actually got to talk with Ray Fisher about his situation and heard from his heart about what happened to him and others, I get it. Okay. As being an outsider and looking in and being frustrated with the whole thing. And I'm frustrated with the whole thing. And even if Ray and like say Wayne T. Carr, have just recently expressed that they've kind of changed their mind and they're not going to see the film now. Okay. But that's their choice. And even Wayne T. Carr came on the channel a couple of weeks ago and even talked about that. He said, look, that's our choice. I'm not telling everybody else that they shouldn't go see the movie. We're not telling anybody else what to do. And even Ray Fisher, he was at a con when he let that ball drop, that he wasn't going to see it, unless there's an apology. But even he said and talked about how that was his choice. Okay. And I still think that, we know who the executives are over there, right? We know that there's some people who need to apologize for quite a bit of things. I would put out there that there's a lot of evil that we don't know that still happens. And if we're going to hold the filmmakers, because I believe that Muschietti is a good filmmaker and I love his films. And I don't think anybody's accusing him of being a racist. Okay. The guy, and I would hope not. But the thing is I saw a tweet and I get where it comes from, but I thought it was unfortunate because somebody said, don't go see the Flash movie. It's being made by racists.
I don't think that's the correct take. Honestly.
I don't think that that's the right take either. Because I don't think Muschietti is in that position. I don't
think his sister is either. I don't think anyone involved in that film is either. I wouldn't say Sasha Kaye is racist. I definitely wouldn't say Ben Affleck or Ezra Miller's racist.
Right. Right. And I also understand the frustration as Snyder fans. Okay. That I get all that stuff, man. I've been right in there with everybody. Right. So I understand all those frustrations, but I also keep telling myself this: Ben Affleck was gone. He was not Batman anymore.
Yep.
If they were continuing the same kind of BS that happened with Justice League, I just don't believe that he would come back for that. Because that was part of a time in his life when there was a lot of bad stuff going on, and it may not have been the main reason for it, but it was definitely a contributor to it. Right. And so Ben came back for Zack to Batman. To come back to Zack's driveway and film the parts of Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? And then you also, I think it was you guys talking earlier, like about like Ezra Miller even, right? So like Ezra Miller, he was going to walk away from he's back. This is his movie, right? And so like with Ben and others, like I really feel that, and I've heard rumors that Muschietti really tried to, work things out with Ray because he wanted Ray in the film. I've heard that. I don't know if that's true. Ray hasn't told me anything about that. So, so I don't know if that's true or if Ray even was ever reached out to. But obviously there's the Hamada Emmerich issue. And then Ray Fisher saying, look, I'm not going to be in the thing. I'm not,
he's not on set. He's not.
Yeah. I'm not going to be a part of it unless this guy apologizes. I'm not going to be a part of it. So I got to respect all of that. And I do respect all of that. It also puts a DC fan in a weird position because I don't feel that Ben Affleck would come back and do something that craps all over Zack's work. I just have a hard time believing that. Now I could go see that film and you know what? It could be an absolute slap in the face. And if it is, you're going to see me on the Poindexter Lounge telling it exactly how it is and saying, you know what, this is garbage. You all were right. I wish I hadn't seen the thing, whatever. Right. I have a hard time just saying things like, well, the movie's being made by racists because there's executives somewhere.
It's a very blanket statement with little substance to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's part of my reason of why
look, again, I stand with Ray Fisher. I completely support Ray. He has the most reason out of anybody in the world to not go see that movie, to not
Absolutely.
watch.
100%.
I will back that 100%. For me, I come in and I look at it, look, a lot of other people that aren't Toby Emmerich, aren't Walter Hamada, are working on that movie, whether it be the editor or a gaffer or a PA, that look, from the smallest position up, it's these movies, they provide jobs and they help a lot of people. And so I have a hard time, if somebody were to come out, which nobody has, as far as I'm concerned, nobody has said, hey, let's all lead a boycott for the movie. As far as like when it comes to Ray Fisher, they've all been,
Right.
But that's why where I have the issue with the community is when it's all like, like I said, I understand the intention, but it doesn't. It feels more selfish because we're not Ray Fisher. Like I said, Ray Fisher's got all the reason in the world to not, and I completely back. If I were him, I wouldn't be watching the movie either. 100%. Like
how can you? That's like asking Zack Snyder to watch Justice League. Like that's absolutely zero, not fair. Period. Like
exactly.
It'd be a completely different story if he wound up in the movie. But the fact of the matter is he's not going to be until, and even after the fact. Like I'd imagine he probably won't be, because they're probably well into pretty close to finishing it by now.
Yeah.
Unless Walter Hamada says something in the next couple weeks, it ain't gonna happen.
It ain't changing, and but at the same time, I think you're right. It's such a weird position, to be in.
It's like, look, we all really enjoy superheroes one way or the other. I don't think I've seen any of us like truly sit there and just take a giant dump on anything either side has done. I think, as a matter of fact, I've seen both of you just talk passionately and very, even critically to some extent about these things that we enjoy or may not enjoy. That said, I feel like we're going to do the same thing to The Flash because it is in that same category. But all that said, I can also respect and appreciate that both of you are very keen in that, there is the movie that they are making, but we're also not shying away from the fact that there is a larger issue at hand with Ray Fisher. And it's just, it's really not fair. It's a really unfair situation all around, no matter what. And it really does suck because I've been under the impression for years now that Ray Fisher and Ezra Miller were going to make a Flash movie together. And now that is not the case because some guy up there in a suit is just like, oh, he's taking words from another guy in a ball cap and going, no, I'm not going to, no. And it's just like, okay, fine, be a yes man, but you're going to lose a large portion of your fan base by being this yes man. Good job.
Exactly.
And that kind of, and I talked a little bit with Donovan, but do you guys think obviously we know these guys have a year and a half about left. Do you think it is they're trying to set their, their universe, like, this is what we want. That's why all these things are happening. That's why, it's not because look, again, while I see the point, I am part of the group that is like, I see the point of a Blue Beetle, movie. I get that. I want it, but why is that happening before Man of Steel 2? Why are all these things, So do you guys think that's Toby is trying to, and all those guys are trying to set that slate up so that way it just can kind of be irreversible to go back to the Snyderverse?
To be brutally honest, I'm not entirely sure that it's so much that they really care much about trying to shy away from what's already been established. I mean, if they do, then they literally have nothing after that. The fact of the matter is Zack Snyder came in and established what every other filmmaker is coming in and use now, whether or not they decide to use characters directly or indirectly carried over from his universe. The fact of the matter is Blue Beetle and Batgirl, especially Batgirl, is firmly rooted in the same world that he started. But that said, I really don't think any of these people truly care enough because it's all just money bags to them. Toby Emmerich and Sarnoff, probably Walter Hamada, they just look at this and they go, I don't know, let the filmmaker do it. And then they decide what to do after it gets its revenue. And honestly, that's a really lazy way of looking at it. But is there some specific kind of intent to try and make it completely shy away and deconstruct everything that's come before it? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I do know that if they were to come out and completely like release the Ayer cut and even provide like the deleted scene with Wayne T. Carr as Green Lantern, then that would ultimately show just how weak of a studio they currently are.
Yeah.
And that's why they won't do it, because they don't want to show any kind of sign of weakness. They want to try and show that they're past this. They want to try and show that they can be successful without Zack Snyder. Good luck. It's just... it's going to blow up for them, and they're going to point any which way direction they can and really not take any accountability for it. And then they're going to be out on their merry way, probably finding another cozy Hollywood job. I don't know about Toby, but probably Sarnoff and Hamada.
Yeah, Toby wasn't looking too good at Netflix when he tried.
That dude looks like a
a
clown. That dude just looks like a clown.
Yeah, he's another one that's weird too, because look, take away the DC stuff, he's produced successful movies at Warner Brothers, right? But I mean, obviously his behavior and just with I don't understand how any executive has. Well,
and see, that's the other side of the equation is like WB has all this other stuff that they have to juggle on top of DC IP. So
yeah. Enosh, what do you think there? Do you think these guys are trying to set their
well, this the way I look at it. I don't know, right? Like I don't know how deep this ridiculous these issues pettiness runs. Right? Every time I want to try to say, well, you know what? Nah, these guys wouldn't be that petty. That something else comes out, and I'm like,
Yep.
Just have to give that side head look. Like, really?
Yep.
You know, like the bloodshot thing today, or the
what?
Shot. Did you see what WB UK did in wishing Idris Elba a happy birthday? They mixed him up as Deadshot.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like the Henry Cavill birthday thing.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Dropping that news article on his birthday. Yeah.
Really? Really? Okay. Sure.
Exactly.
So you start, taking away my benefit of the doubt after a while, right? But this I will say, no matter what, because everybody who tries to tell me, and trust me, there are plenty who try to tell me the Snyderverse is dead. You need to stop it, Inej. What I love is I'm in a weird place right now in my stance, I guess, in the community, because I have some people who try to tell me that I'm not Snyder enough, that somehow I'm not supportive enough. And I don't know how that could be, but I've actually gotten that from people, that I'm not Snyder cut supportive enough, and I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that because I don't believe every little conspiracy theory and every little thing that comes along. So I'm not supportive. So there's a whole side of that community now that, they don't like me all of a sudden, right? And so like they're literally dragging up 4-year-old, 5-year-old videos of me saying that I didn't think that Dick Grayson should be the Robin that died, and they're trying to make that sound like I hate Zack Snyder.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, sure. Because anybody who, so I guess you can't even just voice an opinion anymore. 5 years ago, like right after Justice League came out. Okay. Sure. But I still stand by that. I'll watch it. If that ever happened and Dick Grayson was the Robin to die, I'd watch it, and I would put it in that category that we were just talking about earlier, that like everything is in Elseworlds. So you know what? Then I would have to compartmentalize that and go, okay, in Zack Snyder's world, which I love, Dick Grayson's dead. Would it be what I would have done? Maybe not, but I would have to accept it. Right. Just, and there's other things like that, right? That it's not just that, but I mean, like when the storyboards came up and they had Batman and Lois together, if they had gone,
people like that,
if they had gone forward with that, I would have disagreed with it in the way that it was presented, because I'm fine normally typically with a Batman Lois, or I should say Bruce Wayne Lois relationship, like pre-Superman.
Right.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Post Superman, to say, well, Superman died and they just hooked up together and then they had a kid, and Superman ends up coming back somehow and raising Bruce Wayne's kid. I think that's a weird concept. And you know what? And you can, and if one of my haters are watching this now, you can clip that and say, "Oh, you see, I said that was a weird concept." It is a weird concept, but also I know what a storyboard is too. That's when you're throwing out ideas and you're saying, "Hey, what if this happened and what if that happened?" Okay, if you want to be ignorant and act like this is what Zack Snyder had written in stone, and he was gonna he put it on, he had Jeff Johns write it on that
and then he
piece of
didn't
paper.
even follow through with that idea.
Right? Yeah.
Like, okay, guys, you know, like, come on. You're acting. It's like you're acting like God
Like it's
signed
holy
off
gospel,
on himself.
yeah.
Like came down from the mountain. You know, Moses came down and said, "Behold, the Lord has given me these commandments. Lois and Bruce hook up, and Superman raises this bastard child. You know,
As the new Batman.
as the new Batman." You know, like what the heck? But you know, so like you know, we can disagree on things. It's okay. It's okay. It's how you then choose to handle those things, right? If that had happened, I would have watched it and I would have gone, okay. I wouldn't have taken that choice, but you know what? It is what it is for this, you know?
I honestly wish some people, just real quick, I just honestly wish some people took that same approach to Jimmy Olsen, a much far lesser intriguing character than Dick Grayson. But the amount of people I saw get so fake outraged of, they killed Jimmy Olsen and Batman versus Superman. I'm just like,
right, like you really
how
cared
many
about him that much before?
How many Jimmy Olsen comic books have you read? He was a great character in the animated series. I was like, okay. Sure, thanks.
Yep. No, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. You know, but like you said, if there's something to complain about, people will complain about it. But I say that because I've gotten so much flack over stuff like that over the last, you know, few months, especially, because I think that once the movie came out, like people they had to have something to fight for. Right. And if they didn't have a movie to fight for, then they were going to fight each other. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so look, I get it. There are some people who they're done. Right. They can't see a world in which the Snyderverse continues. And especially with the negativity that's come out, like things that they view as, negative towards the Snyderverse happening. There's many who just say, look, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Right. Yeah. Like I'm just done. And I respect that. Look, nobody said that when you signed up for the Snyder Cut movement, that like you had to continue going and that you like had to believe that everything was going to happen. Yeah. All I tell people is this. Because then the other side, so I got the people who hate me, and then I got these people on the other side who are like, just won't shut up about it. They totally don't look at my video titles like for the last 3-4 months, right? That it's like I got nothing about the Snyderverse because
you've been on Masters of the Universe, Stan, if anything, man.
Like, dude, like so like they don't look at any of that stuff, right? They just know that Enosh talked about the Snyderverse and the Snyder Cut tons and tons, so that's just him. So, and and I will. The moment some news starts coming out, heck yeah, I'll start talking about it again. Right. And we do talk about it in our streams and stuff, but the thing is that like, so those people don't like the fact that they think I'm still talking about it. And they're like, Enosh, you just need to admit it's over. Just admit it. They just want me to admit it. Like they want me, it's like their personal thing for me to admit defeat so that they can all move on. And it's like, dude, I'm just Enosh. I'm not the guy. Like, I don't know what you want me to say that's somehow going to give you permission to move on. But if you're waiting for me to sit here and go, here's my white flag, guys, and the Snyderverse is completely dead, and there's no way that it could happen, I just tell you this. For 4 years, we were told by Warner Brothers that the Snyder Cut did not exist.
Yep. That
there was not a Snyder Cut, that's not how Hollywood works. All the pundits said, all the people in the know who were in the industry and the wonderful YouTubers and all these people were love to tell us that it's dead, it's done, you're not going to see it, you're a bunch of idiots if you think you're fighting for it, it doesn't exist, there's no way Zack Snyder has a copy of this movie, there's no way Zack Snyder has this movie. And the whole time I was watching it, early, I might add, yes, I had to wait the 6 hours because Google went down. But I did get to watch it early at midnight, from midnight till like 5 a.m. because we paused it once. As I was watching it, I turned to my family and I just smiled and I said, we're watching something that doesn't exist.
Yep.
Isn't it great? We're watching something that does not exist, and we're a part of a premiere of something that doesn't exist that millions of people are going to get to watch. Because somebody stood up and said, you know what, I won't go quietly into the night. I won't just admit defeat and say it doesn't exist. So I just keep saying, like, as long as Zack Snyder keeps saying stuff like, yeah, I'd come back.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm still passionate about this. And yeah, I'd love to finish these stories.
There's a chance it could happen.
There's a chance as long as I'm hearing that these people who apparently hate Zack or don't want to, give Zack a chance aren't always going to be there. And there's a good chance that we see a regime change and other things come into play. Money, if there's money to be made, folks, it's possible. And so that's just the way I look at it until Zack comes out and he says, look, guys, you know what? I've had a lot of fun with this, but I got a lot of these other things going on. I get it. Zack has other projects. Okay. But this is what people forget about other projects, right? Like I was told that, like, I was stretching for this because, Zack signed the First Look deal, right? With Netflix, right? A 2-year First Look deal. Well, do you think Zack's going to make like 20 movies in the next 2 years?
No.
A First Look deal does not mean that he's going to make every one of those projects. Look at Army of Thieves that is going to be coming out. He didn't direct that film.
Right.
He's involved in that franchise and very much part of that franchise, but he's not directing every little thing that comes out. Some people are acting like he's hand drawing all the things for the animation, like, oh, that anime.
A lot of people don't really understand that, like, that First Look deal means that whatever he decides to do is Netflix has first dibs on producing it. And it's like,
yes.
Outside of that, if he's asked to, it's a similar kind of situation that J.J. Abrams was in circa right before Rise of Skywalker. Like, he was asked to come back working on something else, like, and he was on a contract for something, and now he's with Warner Media for a $500 million deal that him and his partner, like, they ironed out real quick before they even signed anything. But it's not quite enough to be like, to say that he's definitively done, because he's, even to Enosh's point, said, like, yeah, I love these characters. I'd totally come back if they asked me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And and I'm not even one of these people who are like, well, like, if Zack doesn't, do every little thing with it or whatever, like, I could even see a world in where Zack says, look, I'm going to oversee the thing, but I'm going to get somebody that I trust to come in. I'm going to help oversee it, but, be an on hands producer of the thing and get it made. Right. Like, because I want the fans to be able to see this, and whatever service you put it on, if it's streaming, if you get lucky, I mean, and it hits a theater, whatever. At this point, I just want to see his vision completed. And so what I just tell people is like, look, if Walter Hamada's got some huge chip on his shoulder and he's trying to produce a bunch of crap DC properties, as many as he can, and get this timeline set in order, if that's really the case, well, then that's stupid, because they really made a mistake then, because their first movie is a multiverse movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
so basically, if that's their motive, if that's what they're trying to do, you basically just gave right there in the very first film your go-to for how you could continue with more Snyderverse movies. I'm not one of these people who say that we should can everything, like that I don't want to see anything else and I just want Zack Snyder to come back and be the new Kevin Feige of the whole DC thing and only Zack Snyder stuff. I'm not there. I just want to see. Yeah. I want to see his stuff done. Would I love to see Ben Affleck come back as Batman and do that Batman, story, anything? I would love to see that. But like one thing at a time, guys. Like that's what I keep saying. Like one thing at a time. We get there, and if it happens, it happens. But don't hype yourself up so much. Where I've literally seen people just like almost just like give up and just like throw their hands up and like you could see the pain in their face, and it's like, guys. Come on, like don't act like the world has come to an end just because people were mad that like we didn't get that announcement, man, the week after the Snyder Cut came out.
Exactly. People forget that it took 4 years for that to even to happen. But I know Phil, you said you got to be heading out here.
I got to head off. I got to get up early for bed for work and stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But look, I wanted to thank you guys so much. This has been, I love picking. You guys are two of the most knowledgeable people I think I know about comics and all that. And so I love listening to you guys and hearing why, because a lot of the same reason too. Right? For me, obviously, I'm a little younger, but it was Frank Miller, Dark Knight Returns was where it all started for me and stuff like that. And so and then the Batman animated series, Justice League animated series, of course, was a big inspiration. So, I mean, I love hearing that because it's why we're all here and it's why we love this. But yeah, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you, and then Also, you can I put the links of your channels and Twitters and all that fun stuff in the description as well. But
Nice.
Enosh, if you want to go ahead.
Well, you can find me at Poindexter Lounge on all social media and, of course, on YouTube, where we have lots of fun. And you never know what might happen at the Poindexter Lounge. Literally, we had probably the funniest moment that has ever happened in the Poindexter Lounge tonight. And I can't even express it to you. I can't even explain it to you. But if you follow Saggy Melons, she clipped it. She clipped it and uploaded just the moment. It was... All I got to say is somebody gave a super chat to see RJ's shirt, but RJ was not on the screen. Oh. And we made a joke about RJ being shirtless. It resulted in me being partly shirtless, Saggy doing a dance, and me making a comment about this is about the time that my wife walks in, and literally my wife walked in that door right at that moment. And we're all laughing our butts off, like crying hard. And my wife is hilarious. And so she made some funny statement or whatever. She's like, what's going on in here? And so it was funny. It was funny. So yeah. But you can find us on Poindexter Lounge. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who might stop by either. We've had some crazy moments, man, where the most unpredictable stuff happens. So come on by, have some fun, and we'd love to have you.
Heck yeah. And then Phil.
Well, if y'all want to follow moi again, Austin, thank you again for having me on.
That's a great microphone, Phil.
Thank you. It's a Shure SMB7. I got it like over a year ago. It's been nothing but wondrous working with this mic. I use it to produce my podcasts. I have 3 podcasts. Superhero Stress is the main one. Just hit 106 with a Shang-Chi review. So that's out there for the airwaves. If y'all want to listen to that, they're all on Podbean and Apple Podcasts, of course. So there's Superhero Stress. There's The Eternal Night, which is exclusively Batman. And then there's also The Magic of Movies. New episode coming soon regarding Superbad. So, yeah.
Nice.
That's a great shirt, by the way. I have that shirt. I just noticed your shirt. Yeah, it's a great shirt. I love it.
I love Aquaman.
You and I got to hook up, man. This is for, we've been on a couple of streams like passing in the night and stuff, but I'm glad we had this moment to like really kind of get to know each other
Absolutely.
a little bit better. And yeah, man, for sure. Let's hook up.
Big fan of the way you clown Jody. Big fan of that. That was always one of my favorite things because man, that dude is a clown.
Oh my gosh.
So thank you for that.
You know what? I still love. I know we got to get going, but I still love to this day that like some of those initial videos that when all that stuff was going down. Every once in a while, I still get like somebody who will come in and like leave a comment on one of those videos and be like, "Yay, Fisher!" and I'll just write back, "You're a little late to this party, aren't you?" If you're such a fan of Jody, maybe you should like really keep up on what's going on in your community. And of course, I absolutely loved trolling him. I trolled him in a way like a couple of weeks ago. We were doing a video and I went off on some rant and then I started talking about like all the people who've come against. It's weird because the Poindexter Lounge was never meant to be a YouTube channel. You know, like this cool, thing, whatever. And so I love how like I've had all these big guys try to punch down on me. And it's like so weird. Like, so I've had the Andy Signors and the Jodys, and I had, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers come at me, and like jump on the channel one night. And it was like, I'm like, who the heck am I, man? I'm just some dude in a toy room, like talking about stuff, but they don't like it because I think I talk in a smart way about topics that are counter to what they say. And so they see that it doesn't matter that I only have 11,000 subscribers compared to their 150,000 or 300,000 subscribers. That's a threat, any voice like that. And then you add Ray Fisher tweeting us out. That's an even bigger threat. Right. And so it was funny though, cause I got on this rant about all these guys and stuff. And then I'm like, and then there's people like Jody, and I'm like, who now all his old buddies are streaming with me. So thanks. So yeah, they had a big falling out with a bunch of people, man. And now I'm like good friends with like some of the people who were back then. And they're just, I love it. I love it, man. It's the best feeling. It's the best feeling. I just tell people like, I'm still standing.
Big W.
I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what, man, that whole experience, I've had a lot of things happen since that experience where like people like, try to give you a hard time or whatever afterwards. And I took a lot of flack. That was my first experience in like having an attack, like a YouTube kind of attack kind of thing. And if you're going to have a big one, that's a big one right off the bat. And I survived it. and gloriously came through smelling like a rose, and I think, and with a lot more respect than I had going in, and I got to say, so it's like now, like when somebody like says like a comment to me or something like that, even in real life, I'm just like, you have no idea what I've seen.
Right.
You really don't know. I really don't care. So if you think that you give me a hard time is going to bug me, okay.
My badges of honor being blocked. Let's see, Scott Mendelson,
Nice.
Signor, and most recently Jeff Snyder of the Collider. I called that dude out. That was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, that dude's a clown. I called him out. It was great.
Collider's a bunch of clowns, man.
Man, I can't stand any of them.
It's a shame that a lot of the stuff that we love, like, because like I cite them. Like him, John Campea, like John Campea, like that whole thing, man, that got me into like wanting to talk about this stuff on YouTube.
Absolutely.
And it's just become a joke.
Couldn't agree more.
So we'll have to hook up, man, and talk some more for sure.
Definitely when it's not so late.
I know,
right,
man.
right.
I feel you.
Thank you guys again so much for being on here. And guys, make sure to follow, like, share, and check out their channels as well. Like I said, their links are in the description. So again, guys, thank you so much for being here. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and move on into our next segment. So I don't know if Caiden has a transition ready. Caiden, possibly, probably not, probably, maybe, right?
Bye, everybody.
It's right. You like all right.
We are brought.
Oh wait, what do you?
We just press all the buttons and then we go.
Okay.
But
so
there we go.
There's our transition.
Right. But yeah, shout out to Enosh and to Phil for being on the channel. That was so awesome, and I'm super grateful to them for being.
Look who decides to come in.
Right, for being here. And with that, we'll bring in our official co-host. He's here, ladies and gentlemen. He is here.
It's tough. I had told Austin that I was driving back from California last week, and I was like, "Hey," because the original poster he put out was wrong. It said 10:30. I said, "Hey, that's great," because what's it called? It's my mom's birthday today, and I was like, "That's great. It's gonna be later in the day, so I'll be able to make it on in time." And then, of course, my sister makes the reservation for like 6:45, and I can't run out on my mom's birthday dinner, but I'm here. I made it. Right. I am very sorry that I couldn't be here for the jump, though. I really wanted to.
Shout out to your mom. Happy birthday to your mom.
Happy birthday, Mom.
But no, man, thank you so much for being here. Obviously, I'm excited, man. We're gonna be. This is he says at least it's Paul and not my Exactly. Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. You missed it, dude. We had Sean Connery here, dude. We had Enosh. We had you missed a lot, man. It was
one of those things is not like the other. What?
No. Enosh and Sean Connery are one and the same. Sean Connery's been
I get it.
At Enosh's place past I think since retirement or something like that. But yeah, man, dude. So obviously we're excited to have you from Into the West. You want to let us know a little bit about Into the West, how you got started there, where that all began, and then all
yeah, Into the West was a thing that the three of us, me, Sonny, and Frank, worked together at a restaurant for a long time. We've been friends for a while. We had talked about it a little bit, and then I went to work for Metro, and then the pandemic happened, and eventually somewhere there, Sonny and Frank got it started, and they were like, "Hey, we want you to come be a part." I was working a lot, so I really couldn't. And then things changed, and I was able to start going and doing it with them. And Donovan started coming at the same time as me, and it's just so much fun. We really love going there. Our studio is beautiful, and we go there every week and just have a really good time nerding out and talking with our friends about the stuff we talk about anyways. We just do it on camera now, and met you through it, so that's super cool. And yeah, Into the West Comics on Twitter, or excuse me, on Instagram at @into_comics on Twitter, Into the West Comics on YouTube. We have a pretty cool interview coming up this Thursday with the guy who writes Action Comics and Superman, Philip Kennedy Johnson. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're actually conducting the interview tomorrow, and then we'll premiere it on Thursday with the show. But yeah, it's super cool to see how far we've grown, and we still got a lot of growing to do. And I'm happy to be here finally on this show with you.
Heck yeah, man. There you go. I love it. I love it. That's and I've enjoyed obviously watching you guys Into the West grow. It's been awesome. You guys kill it every single week. I love your setup. I love your knowledge. And I'm excited to have you here, man. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we can definitely do some fun, different stuff that I think can be unique. And but obviously, we've talked a lot tonight. I want to get your thoughts because we haven't gotten your thoughts on Shang-Chi, dude. Shang-Chi, I know you saw Shang-Chi.
Yes, sir.
This week. What were your thoughts on Shang-Chi and how that fit into the Marvel Phase 4?
Shang-Chi, up top, I gave it, like, if I'm giving a number rating, 7.5 out of 10. It's one of those things where I'm kind of almost hesitant to talk about it because it's one of those things where I didn't absolutely love it. And so when people hear me talk about it, they're like, he didn't like it. No, actually, I liked it a lot. I just thought there was a couple things where I was like, I didn't really love this the most. I think the martial arts were incredible. The best. I don't mind like the high edited action pace scenes, like in The Winter Soldier. I really like those a lot. But I also like this kind of more like long shot, actually seeing what's happening stuff. And I thought unmatched. Nothing has been better than the fight scenes in this movie and any of the MCU stuff. I really enjoyed that. I loved the a little bit of spoiler alert. The Great Protector. Fing Fang Foom, and the Dark One or whatever it was called. The dragon fight was
like a deviant to you a little bit.
Could be.
Okay.
And the way the dragon was like using the water to fight, and he was stronger the closer he was to the water. That was super cool. Thought all the creatures and everything were cool. I wish there was more of them, like the what's his name, the foo dogs and stuff, like the big old foo dogs. I wish they did more. I wish we could have seen a little more of that, but that's not a complaint really. It's like I think that would have been cool. I thought Shang himself was fantastic. Simu Liu was great. I always say that, and I'm not sure if it's right. I think it is right, but it feels wrong.
Simu Liu.
And Katie Aquafina, I thought she was going to be a little bit annoying, but I actually loved her. I thought she was very funny. I enjoyed it when she was on screen. I thought she brought a great kind of levity to moments and like not over the top. I liked the Trevor Slattery thing. I thought that was super funny. It was one of those things every time he came back on screen, I was like, it's so funny that he's here, and I love it.
Right.
And so I didn't think that the Mandarin, his dad, was all that compelling. I don't think we saw enough of him. I don't think we got to see him do enough. For me, I didn't think the relationship between them was really, I didn't really feel it. And if you felt otherwise, I mean, you did. I just didn't. I didn't feel it. It didn't feel like as like strong and connective as it could have. And I also think there should have been more stuff with his mom outside of flashback. And we saw a lot of the same scenes multiple times. And it didn't really do anything for me. And I just thought the bridge there, although it wasn't bad, I don't think it was executed poorly. I just didn't really feel the connection. And I felt he kind of fell flat as a villain a little bit. I didn't find him that interesting. I feel like I'm probably in the minority on that, but it's the truth. I watched it and I was like, I'm not that interested in this guy. And I think because of that, a lot of the smaller moments where Sean was like, oh, I got to do this. I got to kill my dad. I was like, okay, I don't really care. Like, do it. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. When in Black Panther, it's like the conflict between him and his like half brother or step brother or whatever was more compelling to me because I think they executed it better. And I just feel like maybe the Mandarin didn't get the screen time he needed, maybe, and some of his mom and his Mandarin didn't get the screen time they needed. But overall, I really, really enjoyed it. It was really fun. It was just a couple of things where I was like, I was left and I went, I didn't absolutely love that. Why? And I think it's because like the villains just didn't really do it for me. And the relationships didn't quite connect, except for Katie and Shang. I thought that was great. I really felt like
they had some great chemistry.
They were fantastic. I think the Wong fight with Abomination was really cool and is like a look into like maybe what we're seeing, and it was a little different than everybody else thought. I thought
just
his
like
sister.
how Juan has a fighter like WD alter ego on the
Yeah,
weekends.
I know.
Like, Juan. After I was like, oh yeah. Dude, like,
and I bet you that's where he's going in the Spider-Man movie. That's where he set it out to. Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see what they do next with him in particular. And I think he can be a lot of fun. I saw people saying it was as good as Iron Man, and I'm like, really? You think that was as good as Iron Man? But I did really enjoy it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I'm gonna watch it a second time. And I think I've softened on it a little bit after I first saw it because my expectations were really high, and I was kind of like, I felt a little flat. I did like it, but now I haven't seen it since. But thinking about it, and I was like, just a couple of things with like the villain. Like I said, for the 5th time now, I didn't think was the most interesting, but I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I thought I know. I had Donovan on a little earlier. He had some fun thoughts about it, and
me and him were kind of on the same page about it. I think
he seemed a little bit more rough than you. It's a little more. You seem a little bit nicer on it. But I definitely do think that the fights were great. I actually really enjoyed it. I got some kind of Lord of the Ring vibes at the end there. With the big battle, like in the fantastical monsters and dragons.
Yeah, that stuff was so cool.
I was like, okay, this is cool. This was a lot of fun. But I'm definitely, I thought it was good. And I think it's definitely better and a step up from, Phase 4 kickoff, which was Black Widow, or theatrical kickoff. But with that, as obviously today's show has been a lot of just welcomes, like why we love comics, why we love this, why we love that. But there will be different segments each week, like a comic segment, like a what we watch and what we recommend segment. And another one of those segments is going to be like a random segment where we just kind of react to something random in the pop culture in the week, and give our thoughts about that. And so with that, I wanted to bring up this video here, but I have to share the let me share my screen here, and get your reaction with this, Paul. And then after that, we'll be bringing back Ill Life to close out the show for a final performance. But I did want to react to something a little random. I know we've been talking a lot of comics all night, a lot of movies and stuff. This I just thought was funny, and
I'm so salty that I missed so much. Like, shout out my mom's birthday, but damn.
Shout out mom, but mom, you be holding me up. Come on,
it was really my sister that sold me out. She freaking
giving everybody up here. No, man, look, I'm excited. There's like I said, guys, every Monday, me and Paul are gonna be here. It's gonna be fun. We're going to be doing different stuff every week and talking a lot of different stuff every week. No news week. I don't want you to give me notifications. But I thought this was interesting. Man quits 100,000 job to work for Logan Paul. Weeps as
I watched this.
Did you watch this video, dude?
Have you seen it yet?
My gosh, I have to reshare it because I got to make sure.
It is pretty hilarious.
It's pretty great. I thought we'd watch this and then we'd give a little reaction and talk about this foolishness. I mean, foolishness.
I don't know what this guy was thinking.
Let's see. Is this
I don't know how true. Before we get into it, I don't know how true. He's like, I had $100K job, $100K a year job. I'm like, I don't know how true that is. How is that being corroborated? You seem like a big dummy, so I'm not sure how.
How'd you get the $100,000 job? Exactly. Yeah. Right. So this dude, runs into Logan Paul. I guess actually pulled some prank. Let's see here. It's gonna. Oh, that just threw me at the end. Is this the video report? No, it's not. Caiden, where's the video, Caiden? Gave me the.
There's a link to it, like above.
Got it.
Oh, there.
I quit my job.
Here we go.
Wait, it's a story. I'm interested. It's a story.
You can click the full screen on the bottom.
Come on.
It's all Paul's fault.
Go figure.
Wow.
It's all Logan Paul. Logan Paul is trying to.
It's Logan Paul's, not the Paul.
He doesn't
that's on
want
the
us talking
stream.
trash
Logan Paul.
about him on the stream. It's either that or it's.
I quit my job. No, wait. It's a story.
I'm interested.
It's a story. I just talked to Logan Paul. I mean, like, he was just being nice, and I get it. Media, whatever. He has to be nice. Before I approached him, he was bragging about making $3 million. I make $100,000 a year. I'm 22. I do make $100,000. That's cool. And I want to.
Just that nonchalant attitude. That's cool. Dude, if I made $100,000 a year.
That's why I don't think he did. Like I don't know how true that is. I have my reservations about the validity of that.
Oh.
I mean, I'm
sitting in the cast. I don't even know what to do.
I don't even want to feel bad for the guy.
Like, I did come up here by myself. I do have family, but
you didn't.
We're not the closest, and I don't have really close friends. You know,
did he expect people to feel bad for him?
I think so.
I wonder.
That was the point.
But are you? So is there like people are saying this was staged? Like this isn't real?
Let's watch the clip, okay?
I quit my job. No, wait. It's a story.
I'm interested.
It's a story. I quit my job legit 2 days ago. I came up here, took a risk. I'm originally from Ohio.
Did you sneak up here?
No, I didn't sneak in here. I didn't sneak. What do you mean sneak up?
Like on stage? Or you just like?
Yes, I did.
It's one of the sneak videos.
So he did sneak.
Did you print the ticket and stuff?
No, I just needed to talk to you. I'm trying to talk to your brother.
All right, pause. So dude had $100,000 job. Couldn't pay to go to a Logan Paul event at like
backstage. Yeah, couldn't pay to get backstage.
Couldn't afford that.
A little sus.
Apparently didn't think this through enough to like put some money away. First of all, why didn't you just take a vacation? Why quit the job? Why didn't you just be like, yo, I need a week vacay. I'm gonna go pull this stunt, hope things work out. If not, I got my job still, like.
Yeah, I don't even. I saw a tweet. The tweet that made me watch this, it was the one that was like, would you take $500K or dinner with Jay-Z? And then someone was like, the dinner with Jay-Z be like, and posted this video. So that's how I ended up seeing it.
Right. Right.
And I was like, yeah, pretty much.
I mean, dude, and then I love what Logan. This is probably one of the only times that I respect what Logan Paul has to say. He decides to play there.
I'm trying to talk about business. Trying to get a job. Like I want to do media. I've been trying to get.
What are you good at?
I can dance.
I did like
What's
that.
your TikTok?
I did that video. Like going like that.
So you really got what it takes.
I don't.
Then why would I need a mentor? Well, why would I do that?
I want to be like. I'm 22 years old. I'm just trying.
I bet I can't be a mentor right now. Right in my life, I'm a fuck up myself. I need a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Like I need
connections and you need people be around you, right?
No, I didn't have connections and people around. I have Jake. That's it. Do you have a brother? Do you have people? Friends?
I don't.
Friends? You got friends. You got
I
amigos.
don't.
You don't have friends?
I don't. I swear to God. I'm here.
That's another that I'm kind of like, you got one. What? Not one. Not
well.
Okay, the thing he did wrong was when he said, "Do you have the stakes to do it?" And he said, "No." He should have said yes.
I didn't even hear in that part.
Yeah, when he said, "You got the stuff," he should have been like, "Yeah, I do." Because then Logan Paul was like,
and then he'll be like, okay, like maybe I can contact someone that my brother knows to lend you a hand. But no, he said no, and that's what messed it up as well.
Right.
So everything it's both
sides.
Yeah,
and also too, it feels like this guy wasn't going right. They kind of tell you when you're going to do this type of stuff, what's your benefit to the person? How are you going to benefit the other person? And it seems like this guy walked in there with absolutely no intention of seeing how he was going to benefit Logan, but how Logan was going to benefit him, and think that was going to work out.
So yeah, if we're operating from the idea that this is real and this is no setup, That was pretty stupid. Like, what in the world
my
is he
God.
doing? Why would you do that? Respect, I don't
Like,
know. I had
and he's like, and also like Jake or Logan, whatever his name is, was like, do you have any friends? He's like, no. And they like start laughing at him,
Right.
like no
dude,
friends, not one.
like not one. It's like, dude, why you come out here with no friends? Not a single contact out here. Like, you quit your job, you have no friends out here, you have no intentions of going back. Like, and you say you said, but you had the sticks to do that one video, but now you're saying you don't have the sticks to do other videos like that. Like, what's up? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like he's asking the right questions, yet
all over the place.
And it's all over the place.
But yeah, I thought that would be our funny react video of the week. I just thought that was pretty
that is
interesting there.
Very funny.
That he would do that. But obviously, guys, before we close out the show and bring LYPH back for a final musical performance, Paul, man, anything that you want to talk about or bring up before we move on? Obviously, Paul will be back next week, guys, for the full episode. It's not his mom's birthday next week.
No, it is not, and I will be here.
Could you imagine your sister calls you? Hey, by the way, it's mom's birthday. Is again? What? What do you mean?
What is happening? Are we time traveling? I don't. What's it called? So no, I'm super excited to be doing this. I'm super, super grateful that Austin, when he got the new show, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I want you to do this with me," which is part of the reason I feel so bad for missing so much of the first show. But I'm super excited to get on, and me and Austin brainstorm some really cool ideas to do a lot of really cool things and talk about some cool things and get like interaction with you guys and kind of do a little different stuff than usual. And I'm super excited, grateful for the opportunities and the friendships I'm building. And it's just super cool, man. This is a lot of fun. I really am so excited about it. And I'm curious, this is kind of out of the blue, but like if anyone wants to like put comments or the chat, what they thought of the Rick and Morty finale, if you've watched it, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I liked it.
I haven't seen it, but I hear a lot.
I watched it and I was just like
on and off.
I watched it and I was like, okay. I was like, that was a whole lot of hot for a whole little, like nothing really. I don't know. It was very weird, and not in a good way. But it was. I mean, I don't think it was bad. It was enjoyable. It was like, what, why? Okay.
Yeah,
okay. I mean, I was just like, all right, I guess. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what people thought about that. That was kind of out of the blue. But
yeah, drop in the chat what you guys thought of the Rick and Morty finale, and then we'll probably talk about it next week.
Yeah, and then just keep coming every Monday. Come to all the pop culture corner stuff every day. They always have great stuff. I was so ecstatic for you guys when you guys blew up during CinemaCon. I was like, OMG, let's go. But yeah, keep watching, keep interacting. I'm super excited to be part of this. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say, watch us this Thursday. And we might even get some interesting little nuggets about what's come in the next Superman arc, and just talk to a guy who's Eisner Award nominated, which for anyone watching that doesn't know, that's like the Oscars, but for comic books. And he's a really fantastic, nice dude. And I can't wait for people to see the interview. And yeah, it's super cool. I'm super excited about that and everything.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to watch that. I know. I think I was probably before you announced it on the show. You told me
you were the first person I told after he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." I was
dude,
I was talking to Austin. I was like, "Yo, check this out."
Yeah. I was like, "Let's go," because I know you guys have been wanting to get some guests on there, and I know you've been talking to a few other people as well for a while. So it's very exciting, very cool to see you guys grow like that. As well. But as we do close out the show here, I want to thank everybody that's come on, everybody that tuned in, watched, left a comment, left a like, shared the show. I can't thank you guys enough. It means the absolute world to me. Shout out to Dawson, as I said, for his help in creating the logo, the logo, and shout out to Ty, of course, our creator. Shout out to Enosh and to Phil for dropping in. Those guys are so cool and big inspirations of mine, and I can't thank them enough. Shout out to TW for, of course, helping with the name. Shout out to my boy Zach DC and Tyler White, who this all started with them, Comic Nerd Rave, and that's coming back in a couple of weeks to the podcast platform of Pop Culture Corner. So be on the lookout for that. And also shout out to everybody that's just had me on that I've met over the last couple months in the community. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm so honored and happy to be doing this. And of course, shout out to the one and only LYPH for coming in, man, and doing that final live performance for us, dude.
Yeah, no problem, man.
much appreciated.
Thank you to everybody here. Thank you to everybody here for listening and everything. And thanks for having me on, man. It's awesome being on the first show.
Of course. And yeah, next time, I know it's difficult with you being having the setup and then.
Yeah, I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about the music and everything. Yeah, but I would have had to swap all this around back to the desk and everything. So it is
next
what it is.
Week,
You know?
you're the first guest.
Yeah, I'll come on next week. Definitely. Yeah, man. For sure.
And bring you on. But with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. We hope that you enjoy this final few performances from LYPH, and make sure and check out his music. His links are also in the description, his Spotify, as well as his YouTube. He's awesome. Dude, you're killing it, and I can't wait to hear more from you, man.
Yeah, man.
But here we go. LYPH, ladies and gentlemen.
Sound coming all right, yeah. It's a song about when I was a kid, growing up in the hood, the light side of shit, you know? Yeah. Remember back in the day when we was all just kids. Remember back in the day. Remember back in the day. Remember back in the day when we was all just kids. Remember back in the day when we was all just kids, acting stupid on the corner raising. Yeah, Southwest Philly was the name of the streets where I was raised. Didn't know it was the hood, thought the world was all the same. Thought my block was half the city, thought the trash went in the drain. Thought the plug was like a water park and the way we lived was plain. Same looking back when I see the steps where we all sat. When I think of all the crazy shit I miss, it wouldn't take it back. Before all of the dough, before all of the crack, before anyone got shot or deep or too deep in the crack. When we was all alive, blowing Phillies in the sky, drinking 40s on the block, nothing but booty on my mind. 13 and never dry, stay sipping on St. Ives, sneaking out like every my homies looking for a fight. But to us it was all good fun. It was just the way it is. Top roll up, we would run. They didn't treat us like kids. They was trying to give us bids. We was trying to keep it lit. Pokey school and house party when our parents put the remember back in the day when we was all just kids. Remember back in the day, hey! Remember back in the day, hey! Remember back in the day when we was all just kids. Remember back in the day when we was all just kids, acting stupid on the corner, raising hell where we. Then I got a little older, bigger chip up on my shoulder, bigger drugs up in my system, Hulk growing a little colder, raising up some soldiers. Wouldn't believe me if I told you, just all normal every day. They should have had the cameras rolling, cause the shit was like a movie, indie, gritty, crazy story. Survive till the next day and get fucked up in the morning. Since and grab a 40, roll a blunt to smoke with shorty. Seems so fun, sometimes I wish I could go back like Rick and Morty. Cause to us it wasn't nothing, someone always in the sun. Joy riding in the stoley with some ill life fucking bump. Heat under the seat in case some out of town is frontin'. And we all have metal belts to give the enemy a lumping. 50 deep out on the corner, having fun, no need for burners. Getting drunk out of our mind and do a bump and start all over. Was just like when I would never take it back. Cause my hood spit out the man that just set fire to the trash. When we was all just kids. Remember back in the day. Remember back in the day. Hey! Remember back in the day when we was all just kids. Remember back in the day when we was all just kids, acting stupid on the corner, raising hell where we lived. When we was all just kids. Good old days. Remember back in the days when we was all just kids. Young. Yeah. Remember back in the day when we was all just kids. I think I'm gonna do one more song now. Some of you guys might know this one that's about to start playing in a second here. I made this song. I wrote it about 1.5 years ago when this movement was in a simpler time and we were all fighting for a common goal.
Time.
Motherfucking Snyder cut, y'all.
Perfect things. Diamond absolutes. Things fall. Things unearthed.
In the Hamada's hands.
From the falls. This fall.
Let's get it. Yeah. Release the Snyder cut. 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 Justice League, how could you fuck it up? Release the Snyder cut. Release the Snyder cut. It was the Justice League. How dare you fuck it up? How could you fuck it up? Make us watch a waiting cut. Take away a great movie. A movie made for us. Made by a man who cared. Someone who doesn't compromise the vision. Zach ain't never scared. This takes the story there. When I first saw Man of Steel, man, it was just so surreal. Felt like someone finally understood DC from the comics for real. And that made me feel like it was the dream. Like I was really gonna see these pages fall through the big screen. But then they chopped it up, made JL fucking suck. They took Zach's comic accurate vision and betrayed his trust. And the second all of us real fans walked out the AMC, it was so plain to see that it wasn't Zach's movie. And the studio and waiting changed that all this can't be shit. It was ridiculous seeing Flash fall on Diana's tits. And Batman saying something bleeding really made me sick. Or Superman's horrendous, I'm also a fan of justice. Release the Snyder cut. Release the Snyder cut. It was the Justice League. How could you fuck it up? Release the Snyder cut. Release the Snyder cut. How could you chop it up and make it fucking suck? Release the Snyder cut. Release the Snyder cut. It was the Justice League. How could you fuck it up? Release the Snyder cut. Release the Snyder cut. How dare you chop it up and make it fucking suck? Bell's already been wrong, y'all, when the Snyder cut dropped. And hopefully Zaslav and Discovery are gonna hear it, and then the god Toby Emmerich will be dead.
And they've heard it. But in the dark.
I'm about to go off on the verse too. Toby Emmerich's dead. Yeah. So now let me change from a low bit to spit. It's lightweight and change my division to shit. This man has no clue about DC Comics. And man, what the hell was with Superman's lip? I can't even watch it. It's such a disgrace. I really wish Shoots would punch Joss in the face for the actors and crew. Instead, you should talk Zack and treat them with abuse and proceed to rewrite without one single clue. And almost made us fans who's the DCEO. The movies ain't you. On this you can bet, cause you idiots removed the character deck. Release the Snyder cut. But Snyder's movies inspired us fans so much that within a week of that Saturday we had that hashtag up. Release the Snyder cut, and we would not give up till we got to see the vision Warner Brothers promised us. And then we trended up despite all the naysay and made them notice that we were never gonna go away. Kept fighting every day, and I guess that was the key, cause now we're really gonna see Zack Snyder's Justice League. Release the Snyder cut. Release the Snyder cut. It was the Justice League, and you douchebags fucked it up. Release the Snyder cut. Release the Snyder Cut. Heavily to chop it up and make it fucking suck. Now we're getting Zach JL. Now we're getting Zach JL. And all you naysayers can finally go to hell. Thanks to HBO Max. Gonna be a Zach attack. And now we're finally gonna get this vision back on track. Thank you, y'all.
Shout out to Ray Fisher. Hashtag Borg Life. Thanks for the endorsement, homie. Hashtag we all fucking stand with you, cuz.
Thank you, y'all.
Shout out to the
Thank
whole
you, Austin, for having me.
last one of y'all.
Peace out,
We
everybody.
change history
Love
together.
y'all.
All of us. And shout out to all the podcasts and shows that have been on the front row.